Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Comeback 5000. I'm Rich Morell, your host this evening. I'll be joined by multiple guests, multiple race winners throughout the evening. And what a special night, 5,000 metre races we've got lined up for you guys this evening. So we're about to kick things off, our first race on the track. It's going to be the men's F race. That's going off in literally the next 10 or 15 seconds. So talk about cutting it fine. That's what we're doing here in Battersea Park tonight. I tell you what I will say about Battersea Park, this is the first time I've been here. A couple of things. Number one, it's very, very warm, which that isn't a bad thing. But number two, I am getting bitten to pieces here by mosquitoes, flies, whatever they are. They're all over me. So yeah, men's F race, our first one, kicking off the Comeback 5,000 metres for 2026. You can see the athletes about to line up and get underway here. I will give you an up-to-date start list for this. The pace that we're looking for in this first race is around the 15:15 to 15:20 mark. And our pacemakers, Jacob and Sam Charlton. So those boys will be taking out this pace around about that 3:03, 3:04 per kilometre mark. So we're looking for around 73 seconds per lap. So I'll let the race starter get this one underway and I'll bring you an up-to-date start list of who we've got lining up in our first race of the Comeback 5000 of 2026, the men's F race. And we are underway, the men's F race, our first race this evening in the Comeback 5000s for 2026. So from the top of the list, we've got Vitaly Baronov lining up in this one, Chris Booth, Jack Bradley, Mark Bircher, Tom Burns, Will Gardner, David Healy, Oliver Hobdell, Will Hughes, Sam Kelly, Lucas Mansell, got George Marshall in there, Ross McKelvey, Andrew Merry, Daniel Prendergast, Keith Swainston, Luka Villamanovic, Daniel Wallace, Simon Waterhouse, Andrew Welsh, Edward Whitting, Joel Whittaker-Naylor, Piers Deval, Jeremy Henwood, Ben Hilson, Xavier Compton and Aidan Banfield. So plenty of athletes in this one to kick things off. So 12.5 laps the athletes are going to be tackling this evening on this warm evening in Battersea Park. It is around about 25, 26 degrees at the moment, and we're expecting it to stay like this throughout the evening. So conditions will be a factor, and that's something we will touch upon later on through this evening. We can see the athletes just settling into the packs now. Like I said, a couple of pacemakers in this one, going at slightly different paces, around about that 15:15 to 15:20 mark. So 3:03 per kilometre, 73-second lap pace. So it looks to be Edward Whitting just tucked in behind the two pacemakers there, number 217. Edward walking into this one with a personal best of 15:29, so he's bang on the money here, getting on that pace early. And that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how these races play out. I know I did mention the heat and the temperature here this evening, so whether some athletes slightly sit off the pace a little bit early on, let them first few kilometres kick by, and then start to wind up the latter part of the race, we will see. But at the moment, it's single file, which is nice for the athletes. It's not crowded, they're not bunched up, there's no jostling for position. As we're moving around, we're coming up to that 800-metre mark, so the athletes are going to be thinking, right, we're going to be clicking that first kilometre away, and we're going to get settled into a nice rhythm here. And see our two pacemakers out in the front doing a grand job at the moment. We will try and bring you some splits as they come through that 800-metre mark. As I said, it was going to be around about the 73-second mark we were looking for, and they're not a million miles away there at all. If anything, we're slightly under schedule there. Went through about 800 metres in around about the 2:22 mark there. So pacemakers forging on, but actually that 2:22, if you look at where Whitting sat in, behind the pacemakers, it's probably bang on the money of where he needs to be. So Whitting looks to be tracked by bid number 240. That's Jeremy Henwood in there. He's a 15:14 operator. So Whitting in good company here with someone who's got a 15-second personal best, slightly quicker than Whitting there. So Whitting, just tucked in now. But like I said, we've got Henwood just sat in that pack there. And you can see how it has strung out quite a lot. And that lead pack has built, not a significant gap that it couldn't be closed, but they've certainly developed a gap on the other athletes that are caught in a little bit of no man's land now. There's that second group probably about 10 metres back. That second group of 4 now, they're slightly isolated. Then there's another pack behind them. That's great for them. They're teeing off that pack there. And hopefully we'll see that pack all close up, which it looks as though they are, and then that group can work together again. So through the 1200-metre mark there, pacemaker's doing a fantastic job. Our first pacemaker will be dropping off around the mile mark. He might go a little bit further if he's feeling generous, but we're looking at around about the mile mark for that pacemaker to drop off. So Whitting still sat tight there from Henwood, number 240, and in sitting there in third place we've got bib number 246, that's Aidan Banfield there. Now Aidan again is another 15-14 operator. So we've got Whitting's in good company there. He's got 2 lads around him, around about that 15-15 mark. About 10-15 seconds quicker than his personal best on paper. But he's not discouraged here. He's got on the pace and he's committed to this one early. And, you know, we can see that group, they seem to, that gap is growing significantly, actually. If you look at what it was at this point earlier on, a lap ago, certainly not as big as this now. So this gap looks to be away. The questions are going to come when the pacemakers drop off. What is this lead group going to do? What is Whitting going to do? We can see Banfield there making a move up the back straight. It doesn't, you know, maybe at this point doesn't need to necessarily be jostling for position as much as that. You know, it might be wise to sort of conserve that energy as we go through that 4-lap mark there. One of our pacemakers steps off. But Banfield looks keen and he fancies this one a little bit here, but it's still Whitting, sat in behind the pacemaker. Now, once this pacemaker goes, then we're going to start to find out how this race is going to unfold. Because, you know, 12.5 laps, it's a long, long way to go. They've still got still got another 8 laps to bank off here. So it's still going to be a long, drawn-out race. So interesting to see how this one pans out. But at the moment, we've got the pacemaker from Whitting, from Henwood, from Banfield. So as the athletes make their way around that bottom bend there, they will be coming up to the 2K mark. So we're going to have 3,000 metres left to run in this one. Now the 2K split, we're going to want to be seeing something around about the 5:45 mark, maybe. Something in there is a healthy, 6:05 mark. Something in there is going to be very, very healthy. It's going to mean that they're bang on the pace that they need for this 15-15 clocking. And as you can see, through in 6:05 there. So the pace is spot on for these guys now. You see a little bit of change in the pack. The pacemaker doing a fantastic job taking them beyond that 2K mark. But it is 2:46, Aidan Banfield that has moved to the front of that pack. Whitting still just tucked on the inside. Smart move from Whitting here, just to sit on the inside, shortest line, track the rest of the pack, let them all do the work, conserve the energy, and Banfield's also settled back into the pack. So it's Henwood now that's doing the work, running slightly wide on the shoulder of the pacemaker. Doesn't necessarily need to be there at this point. Like I said, we've still got a long way left in this race. The pacemaker seems to have forged on slightly there. And now Henwood's tucked in. So we've got Henwood, Whitting, Banfield. These 3 are away at this stage. However, this is 5,000 metre running. Think that distance on the road. Think how quick things can change in that last kilometre, that last mile. So there's still plenty of running left in this one. As they come around to 6 laps to box off. Like I said, healthy pace. Hit that 2K marker bang on. So we're looking for another 73-second lap to get these guys round into that 15-15 mark. Like I said, we've got a full evening of 5,000 metre races lined up for you guys that are tuning in on YouTube. We have got this men's F race that's well underway now, well into that running. And then we're going to be following this up with the men's E race. That's going off at 6:42. That one paced slightly quicker than this one. And you'll find as we progress through the evening, the races are going to get slightly quicker and slightly quicker. We've got a women's B race going off as well. And then we get towards the back end of the evening, we're looking to the men's and women's A races where qualification times are key, and we will touch upon that because there's some athletes in there that are certainly chasing big times this evening. As we cut back to this men's F race though to kick things off this evening, and there has been some changes in that pack, and it is our early leader in that pack. It was Edward Whitting there. He looks to be dropping off that pace now, and you know, Whitting was coming into this one with that 15:30 personal best, so it was a tall order. He set out strong and he committed to it. But now it looks as though it came down to Henwood and Banfield there. So we've got Jeremy Henwood 2:40, Aidan Banfield 2:46. And it is Banfield tight on the back of the pacemaker. And as the pacemaker moves slightly wide, I do wonder whether this is going to be the pacemaker pulling away now. and that is going to be his job done for the evening, and a fantastic job he's done. He's taken them to around about that 2,800 metre mark there, so brilliant pace making. And now it's down to Banfield. Banfield is on the front, and it's going to be interesting to see what these two athletes do now. You know, we could see some almost silent agreements made during this race here. One will say, all right, I'm going to take a lap. The other one will take another lap. Maybe they will share the pace. Whiting is off the back there, not getting dropped horrendously, but the problem that Whiting's got now is, again, he's caught in no man's land and he's solo. And he's coming around with about 2,000 metres to go. That's still a long way to go. So hopefully Whiting can hold it together. You know, I'd love to see him get a good time tonight. He really committed to this one. But on the front, it is Banfield, it is Henwood, and these two guys are churning away, trying to keep that pace on, trying to bring it back home in around about that 15-15 mark there. So you can see 2.46 on the front there, Aidan Banfield, senior man from 2.40, Jeremy Henwood. Jeremy Henwood, male 35 as well, Hastings athlete there, so fantastic running from him. And as we say that, Henwood moves wide, and are we going to start seeing this pace being shared here, or is this a move from Henwood? Interesting to see how this one plays out over the next few laps. So the athletes come through with about a mile to go. So they're operating around about, if they're still on schedule, they're operating around about the 4:55 5-minute mark. But we can see this has been a significant move from Henwood here. He's really put the boot in with a mile to go. He's going to be coming up to this point, and he's going to have around that 3.5 laps to go. And this is a key part of the race, because he's got to hold it together for this next 2 to 2.5 laps here to really get him over to that point where you're coming towards the bell. Psychologically, things start to ease a little bit. Yes, he's going to be in the hurt locker. Yes, he's going to be working hard. But the key thing is he's going to be within touch and distance of finishing there. So it's Henwood who's took this one on. He's took this one on strongly now, as he's going to come around with 1,200 metres to go. He's looking good. He's grimacing slightly because he is working hard. It's a hot evening as well. I've mentioned the temperatures. That is going to affect the runners. There is no doubt that will affect the runners this evening. But Henwood down that home straight as he approaches 3 laps to go. This is going to be interesting to see how this one pans out, because Henwood looks to be away at the moment from Banfield, from Whiting in third. Now there's a pack behind Whiting that's led by number 11 there. And that pack is working strongly together now, and they'll be breathing down the neck of Whiting, I imagine, shortly. That is Vitaly Baranova on the front of that. I'm going to say, what we're on, 4th pack there. The others aren't really in packs, so they're individuals at the moment. But there is that pack there, led by Baranov, who's going to be chasing down Whiting. And like I said, it's a really challenging period of time for Whiting here, because, like I said, he is caught in no man's land. However, it is Henwood on the front, still churning away, coming round with a kilometre to go. Just over 3 minutes left of running. Now, can he hold it together? Can he stay on schedule as he goes through that mark there in about 12:16-ish? So he's still on pace here. If he can close in a 3 minutes last kilometre, we're going to see something around that 15:16 mark. And like I said, this was paced at 15:15 to 15:20. So anyone that's in the stand, they are going to be getting behind him here. As he comes around, he's going to hit that 800 metre mark, and he's got 2 laps to go. Like I said, he needs to just really dig in. Try and click this next lap up, and then it's all out. That last 400 metres, he's just got to grind it out. And it's easier said than done for me here in the commentary box, saying he's just got to grind it out. But this is really how it unfolds. He's got 800 metres to go. He needs to click this one off, and then he needs to really start grinding if he wants to get that 15:15 mark. Can he hold it together? And see in second place, Henwood just holding on nicely in second place. He looks secure there. Whiting still holding that gap, but that chasing pack as they come round with 800 metres to go, led by Baranov, that chasing pack is waking up slightly. And my worry for Whiting is that there's people in that pack that have been sat, been biding at times, and they're going to start to make their moves. But back to the front, Henwood still looking good, still looking strong, slightly rocking and rolling now. That's because the fatigue's building in. We're coming around about 600 metres to go now. You can see the shoulders are rocking because there's a bit of tension there, there's a bit of fatigue. This man has nearly completed this 5,000 metre race to kick off our evening, our Comeback 5000. And he's looking good. He's still got to keep working though. We've got about 500 metres left to go. A little glance behind, a telltale sign that he is feeling it there. But Henwood still grinding it out from the front. As he comes down this time, he's going to take the bell. And it looks to me that Henwood's going to be our first winner of this evening in this men's F race, of our 2026 Comeback 5,000 metre race. Henwood on the front, 400 metres to go now. He's really got to dig in. What's the split there? He's around about 14:10-ish. So a 70-second lap will bring him around about that 14:20 mark. You can see there's some crowds gathering around the top end there. Plenty of support for the athletes as Whiting looks to be getting swallowed up now. And that's that chasing pack has got on the back of Whiting, and they have swallowed him up. You know, you've got to commend Whiting, committed to this one early on. But Henwood out in front, Banfield in second place there. And now it's a case of Henwood has just got to hold this together as he comes down the back straight. He looks to have got a bit of a shift on here. The cadence is up a little bit. The stride length has lengthened. The knees are driving a little bit more than they were 400 metres to go. As he comes through with 200 metres to go, 14:48-ish. So a 32-second close is going to bring him home bang on schedule. It might be a bit much for him here, and that could be the factors of the heat like we mentioned, but it is Henwood who's going to take this one. Fantastic run and committed to this one, made his move earlier on in the race, took it on after the pacemakers dropped, and this is Henwood who's going to take our first race of this evening, striking down that home straight, flat out, all the way. Our F race winner is going to be Jeremy Henwood. Personal best of 15:14. He's going to be just outside of that this evening. But I tell you what, 15:25 across the line there unofficially. That's a cracking run from him. Banfield coming home into second place. And it is, I believe it's Baranov in third place there, the long-time leader of that chase pack. He is really rallying down the home straight. I'm going to see a lot of athletes well under that 16-minute mark there. We can see Whiting heading into the home straight, our early leader in this one. Hats off to him, really committed to that one. But some fantastic runs in our opening race, the men's F race of our Comeback 5,000 for 2026. So all athletes across the line there, and that does conclude our men's F race. Target time was around about that 15:15 mark, and we've seen a lot of athletes dip right under that 16-minute mark. Fantastic start there. Just to recap there, it was Henwood that took the win in there from Banfield, from Baranova as well. So there's some real strong runs there. Baranova leading that chase group. But Henwood really got after it and made a significant move at the right time. So fantastic to see. Next up on track, we'll be going to our men's E-race. That will be coming up in about 8 minutes' time. So our men's E-race will be coming up on 8 minutes' time, 6:42. That one will be kicking off. And you can see our programme on the screen now for this evening, so you can get a feel of what races we've got coming up. So men's 5,000 metre, our E-race will be going off next, 6:42, then followed by our elite women's B-race. Do not miss that one. There are some cracking names in that. That's coming up at 7:05. Then we move to our men's D race, 26 minutes past 7. On to the men's C race following that one, around about the 10 to 8 mark, and then at 10 past 8 we've got that men's open B race. Similar to the ladies, the elite women's B race, there is some really, really good domestic quality in that B race. Then we close things off this evening at 8:30. At 8:55 with our elite men's 5,000 metres, but just before that we've got the elite women's 5,000 race going off as well. So plenty of action still to come this evening. I'll be with you all evening, and we will be getting some of our race winners up. We'll be having a chat with them. I think it's really good that we get the athletes up here, get a bit of airtime for them, let them know, let them tell us what their prep is for the rest of the season, how they prep for this race, how they found the conditions. So plenty of action still to come in tonight's Comeback 5,000 metre race. As I mentioned, the weather, it is certainly going to be a factor. It's definitely a warm one today in London, around about that 27 degrees mark at the moment. So thankfully I am in the shade, but the athletes that are down on track, it's going to be a very, very, very different feel. So, confirmation of our results from that opening race, our men's F race. It was Jeremy Henwood from Hastings AC that took the win in that one, 15:25.7 across the line there. It's really strong running from Henfield there. Second place, Banfield, takes 15:39, and it was Baranova who led that second pack round. The Hercules Wimbledon athlete, 15:48 for him. Rory Steele up there, 15:52. Jack Bradley, 15:54. Andrew Welsh, 15:57. Ben Hilson, 15:58. Chris Booth, 15:58. So you can see there our top 8 all under that 16-minute mark. Real strong start this evening. And as we go to our second page of results now, it was Mark Burchett in 9th place there, 16 minutes, just missing out on there. Edward Whitting as well. You remember Edward, he took it on earlier doors. The Bedford and County AC athlete, 16 minutes for him. Piers Devoyle in 11th place there, and Joel Whittaker-Naylor from King's College London closes this race off in 16:24. So next up this evening, it is Heat 2. It is our men's E-race, paced around about the 15-minute mark. Some of the names we've got lined up: Will Anderson in there from Belgrave Harriers, George Booth, Ross Brown, Joe Bryant, Sam Burgoyne, Matthew Everett, Sebastian Gary, Samuel Gill in there as well. We will flick over to our second page of our athletes lining up in this second race of this evening. We've got Gary Grierson in there, the Highgate Harrier, Jack Gunning in there, Aldershot Farnham District, famous club. There'll be plenty of athletes down here this evening from AFD. Samuel Harry, Belgrave Harrier in there. We've got Aniket Iyengar in there, the Blackheath and Bromley athlete, Joshua Langham, another AFD man in there, Damien Madigan, Daniel Odling, Isaac Parker, Kent AC. There's plenty of names in this second heat of our 5,000 metre races this evening. To go on to our final page there: Sam Parsons, Tom Patterson, Dylan Poulton, Alex Roberts, Adrian Royer, Sam Somerville, Felix Tremblot de la Cruz, the Guildford and Godalming AC athletes, I hope I pronounced that right, and then Rafe Mann, another AFD athlete. So we can see lots of AFD athletes coming through for this one. A real quality club, a real strong club, been around for many years. And then finally we've got Alex Winchester, Alex Wright, Thomas Holmes, Patrick Mayer and Rhian McCauley, the Belgrave Harrier in there. So plenty of names in our next race that's about to go off in about 3 minutes time. As I mentioned, pace-wise, we're going to be around about the 15-minute to 15:05 mark. So that, if we're breaking that down, we're looking for 3 minutes per kilometre in change, 72 seconds per lap, and that's going to work out at around 450 miling. So like I said, conditions this evening, they are really warm, but actually there is a bit of a breeze. And if you're watching on this stream now, you'll notice our hawker flags. They're our sponsor for this evening. You'll notice those hawker flags, they are blustering a little bit, they are blowing a little bit. So there is certainly a wind element for these athletes to contend with tonight. So whilst conditions aren't bad, they're not perfect for 5,000 metre running. We'd like to be a little bit cooler and a little bit less wind, but we can't grumble because these athletes are here and they're here to do a job, and they're certainly going to get after it in these paced races. So next race up on track, that men's E-race, going off in about 2 minutes time, around about the 15-minute mark. That's what we're looking for. Our pacemakers, we've got Xander and Jacob in that one. Jacob was the pacemaker who took them to over 2,000 metres in our E-race, so he's getting a good workout this evening. So our men's E-race coming up shortly. So final moments before this second race of this evening gets underway. Like I said, we're targeting that 15-minute pace in this one. Starter on for the athletes' attention now as we're about to get our E-race well underway. 3 minutes per kilometre. That is the target. That is the target for Xander and Jacob this evening. Nervous moments, nerves jangling for these athletes as they prepare themselves to take on this 12.5 laps. And we are away, race number 2 of the evening, the men's E-race, 15-minute pace. Xander and Jacob, another job to do for our great pacemakers on the front this evening. They're going to take this one round in about 72 seconds. So, I'll recap our start list there. We've got Will Anderson, George Booth, Ross Brown, Joe Bryan, Sam Burgoyne, Matthew Everett, Sebastian Gary, Samuel Gill, Greg Grierson, Jack Gunning, Samuel Harry, Aniket Iyengar, Joshua Langan, Damien Madigan, Daniel Odling, Isaac Parker, Sam Parsons, Tom Patterson, Dylan Poulton, Alex Roberts, Adrian Royer, Sam Somerville, Rory Steele, Felix Trembault de la Cruz, Rafe Mann, Alex Winchester, Alex Wright, Thomas Holmes, Patrick Mayer and Ryan McCauley. Now, Ryan McCauley, the Belgrave athlete, he does seem to be our quickest athlete in the field with a personal best of under 15 minutes, 14:51. So Macaulay, you would imagine, season's best is a 15:29, so a little bit down on that personal's best, but it is very early in that season. We're only in May, so you would imagine that Macaulay is going to be one of the athletes that is going to be trying to push the pace and get up on that front. And I'll pick out some of the athletes as they come round to bring you a little bit of information on these. So it looks to be George Booth just on the outside of the pacemakers there. He seems to be our leader at the moment. 15:23 personal best for George Booth. Now you can see this one. I know there is more athletes in this race than there was in the previous race, our F race. But you can see how it is slightly different. Our F race seemed to sort of string out really, really early on, which was great for the athletes. Now this one, it's a little bit more bunched, especially in that mid-pack area, but it will start to thin out soon because the athletes will just settle into the pack. And it's, you know, I always think it's crazy when you see a race span out across the track like that. Actually, you know, you've got to be really, really switched on because you can miss breaks if you're right at the back of that field. Now, not at these early stages in the race, but when it starts coming down to it, that last kilometre, and you see athletes hanging off the back slightly, and it's set out like this, you know, there's a good 20-metre section of athletes there. So they have to be careful. The positioning is key, but in these early stages of the race, you know, you can afford to be slightly out of position. Ideally, you just want to get on the rail and just follow it round. But we can see there, 20, George Booth. He's the one that's taken closest order to the pacemakers. Looks to be Daniel Odling on the inside there as well. The Loughborough, you can see the African violet of the Loughborough vest there. The athlete in the cap on the inside. So, plenty of work still to go in this men's E-race. Still early doors, 12.5 laps of the track. They're coming around to take out this first 1,200 metres. If they look on pace, it is stringing out nicely, but still plenty of chopping and changing to go in this one. So we can see Booth really fancies this one right up on the pacemaker's shoulder. That's Grierson there, the Highgate athlete, number 87, and Odling, our Loughborough athlete. That's our lead pack at the moment there. Hernhill Harry are up there as well, so there's still, you know, still a good chunk of athletes in this sort of lead pack that are taking this one round, but our pacemaker's doing a fantastic job. But Booth looks keen to be pushing on here as they come round with about, I believe, 9 laps to go, so still a long way to go in this one here. So the field come up to that 1600 metre mark. They're going to be going past that mile mark shortly. And it looks to be that they're going to be coming in around about the 4:45, 46 pace for a mile there. So they're bang on. They needed 4:50 per mile, which is 3 minutes per kilometre, 72 seconds lap. So excellent pacemaking again. Our pacemakers have been fantastic so far this evening. We've got Booth hot on the heels of the pacemaker though from Odling. The Highgate Harrier sat in third place there as well, not wanting to give an inch at this early stage of the race. Now, like I said, we did mention how hot it is this evening. I think, you know, there may be some slight different approaches to the races now, given that the temperatures are so high here this evening. So, you know, some of the athletes that might have been keen to get on the pace early on in the race, they might sit off that first 2 or 3 kilometres, because it's just, you know, can really, really drain the tank when you're not acclimatised to these type of conditions. You know, the UK isn't blessed with great weather all year round, so we're coming off the back of our spring season. Temperatures haven't been particularly high, but at the moment they've just seemed to have spiked these past couple of days, and now the athletes are having to contend with that 26, 27 degrees, which is really, really, really hot and a real difference and a real change for them. So unless they've been abroad warm weather training or getting plenty of time in the sauna, it's going to be, it could be potentially a bit of a struggle for some of these athletes this evening. But Booth, it doesn't seem to be deterring him from getting on the pace at the moment, and this seems to be a pack that's developing here. So we've got Booth on the front, Odling, the Loughborough athlete, in second place there, followed by 87, which was Grierson, the Highgate athlete there. We've got number 216, I believe that is, as well in the pack there, and that looks to be Rafe Mann. So Rafe Mann's a 15:14 operator over the 5K, and he's dropped that this season as well. So Rafe Mann tucked in on the inside there at the back of that pack. That's a great position for him, again letting the other athletes do the work in front of him. But Booth is keen for this one, and the pacemaker seems to be just taking a yard or two out of the athletes at the moment. It's this point now, I thought this was going to happen. Odling starts to make a move. The Loughborough athlete there doesn't want this pace to drop and wants to get on the back there. And it looked to be Booth taking his foot off the gas a little bit. Now, is that a bit of fatigue setting in at this early stage in the race, or is he just wanting to settle back in a pack after he was on the front there? And as I say, as that Odling, it looks to be Mann as well that's made a move up on the outside, and Mann has really asserted himself on this field here, getting on the back of that pacemaker at this early stage. And as I say, that Booth makes another move around the outside. Grierson tucked away in that pack as well. So plenty of action unfolding here, and we've got a nice little pack that's worked away. Now Mann is getting tight in the pacemaker, and now Mann looks to have dropped this pack behind. So we've got Grierson in that pack, we've got Booth, we've got Odling in there, we've got number 166 and 169 in there. So I'll bring you those athletes. That is Isaac Parker, 166, a 15:09 operator, and 169 there, the Hernhill Harrier. That's Thomas Patterson, another 15:14 operator. So the quality is really in that front pack there, but it seems to be that Mann has almost, I'm not going to say struck for home, but he's certainly made a move, and it looks to be a definitive move. He's set out on this. There does look to be an athlete trying to bridge that gap though. And as soon as they come round, I can take my eyesight isn't failing me, I will get you the information on that athlete who seems to be closing the gap. But it's Rafe Mann on the front now. He's still got a long way left to go, as they're going to be approaching about the 8.5 minute mark in this race. So they've still got around about that 6.5, 7 minutes worth of running left to go in this one. As they come through now, Mann is looking good on the front. Now, the question is, can he hold this together? He must be confident in his shape, knowing that he's gone to the front this early in the race. But it's Rafe Mann on the front now from number 166. 166 is Isaac Parker, Kent AC athlete, 15:09 on paper. So we've got Rafe Mann and Isaac Parker here. Seem to be joining together in a group, and there's not much difference in personal best. Parker slightly quicker, the 15:09 man from Mann, 15:14. But these two, they're going to be joined together now with about 5 laps to go, I believe. So they're through there. They've got 2K to go at this point. So they're bang on. They're there or thereabouts schedule-wise. Like I said, we were looking for that 15-minute to 15:05 pace in this one. But at the moment, it's all Man and it's all Parker, these two on the front. Now, will they start to share the pace? That's the question. If you're Rafe on the front, you'd probably be thinking, Isaac, come on, take a lap for me here. But Rafe seems to be pushing. It seems full of running. He looks great at this moment as well. Down the back straight, they're trotting along, they're clicking over nicely. They've got a real injection of pace there. But it's Rafe Man taking this one on from Parker. The Hernhill Harrier looks to be moving into third place and breaking away slightly from Booth. And that Hernhill Harrier, I believe, is Thomas Patterson, the 15-14 man. So really, Thomas Patterson's going to be having eyes on these in front of him. Now, can Patterson bridge that gap? Can he pull Booth back round here? That is 169. That is Thomas Patterson, the Hernhill Harrier here. So Rafe Man on the front, from Parker, from Patterson, from Booth, from Grierson. Tell you what, this 5,000 metre malarkey, it's really testing my memory, this. I'm taking a glance down at start lists. I'm all over the shop here, but we're here, we're doing a job. So Rafe Man on the front, about a mile to go now. We can see that four lap counter to go. 1 mile left in this one. Rafe Man on the front, and Parker just sat in, letting Rafe do all the work. And out of the two of them, it's hard to really tell. Looking at the style of both of them, they both look relaxed. They both look like they're really pushing on here. So I'm intrigued to see how this one pans out. If I was Parker now, you know, I would just be sitting in on Man. I'd be letting him do all the work, taking the win, just drafting off him, conserving energy, almost switching off psychologically, so I don't have to think about how many laps I've almost got left. So he's going to be coming around with 3.5 laps to go. Now, if Parker can do that for lap or so, it's totally different because Man is on the front and he's the one who's having to force the pace. He's having to think a little bit more. That all drains the tank. That all takes its toll. But at the moment, Man is on the front. He's looking good. Parker, I will say, Parker looks very, very relaxed as they go around there. There's a slight grimace on Rafe's face, whereas Parker just looks very relaxed, looks locked in actually. I mean, see Patterson, the Hernhill Harrier there, as he is pulling Booth round as well, and Grierson slightly off the back there as we work our way further down the field there. That's number 147 in there. We recognise that Belgrave Harrier's vest, but can I pick out the name off this sheet? Can. Oh, yes, I can. It's Ryan Macaulay there, the 1451 operator. So plenty of talent in this one, and the athletes, they are pushing round, but it's back to the front. Man and Parker, they've got a significant gap over Patterson there in third place and Booth, and there's not a chance that Patterson and Booth are going to close this one. As I say, that Booth does make a move. He must sense that Patterson is feeling this one, but I can't see Man or Parker being caught at this stage. Now the question is, who's going to take it out of these two athletes, as they're going to be coming around with 2 laps to go. Man on the front, still churning, and hats off to Man. He has really, really made this race. He took it on when the pacemakers dropped out, and he really, really pushed on, and it's Parker just sitting there relaxed. So Man from Parker as they come round with 2 laps to go, and it is Booth who's moved into third place, and it looks to be Grierson that's tracking Booth now. I will double check that though, because there's a couple of Highgate Harriers in this one, and that is number 77. I don't think that is Grierson. I think that's Sebastian Gary. Yes, it is Sebastian Gary, the Highgate Harrier, 1522. So we've got a couple of racers within the race here. Man and Parker on the front. Booth from Patterson in that second batch, from Sebastian Gary in there as well. So plenty of action still to unfold in this one. But Man, he's controlled this one. He's going to be coming around with 700 metres to go, and Parker is just sticking to him like glue. Man can't get any breathing space. He can't break Parker at this point. Like I said, they're coming up to about 600 metres to go. Now the question is, how is this going to play out this last 600 metres? For me, out of the two of them, Parker looks really, really strong. He looks really, really relaxed. And you know, I think that's just a reflection of how this race has panned out, because Man has made this race. And when he took it over from when the pacemakers dropped out, Man has really forged on. He's really, really pushed this one. But you can see the grimace on Man's face there, and Parker just looks locked onto the back of him. He looks so relaxed, he looks so comfortable. And as I say that, I think Parker's eyeing a move here with 500 metres to go. Parker has hit the front. Now, can Man respond? Man has just got to try and cling on to Parker here, but Parker looks to have really stretched it. Has he broken Man with a lap to go? We've got about 70 seconds of running. The clock is around about the 13:53 mark with 400 metres to go. They take the bell. Parker has built a dominant lead in this one. I don't think there is any way back from Man now. Parker looks strong. I said he looked relaxed. I said he looked comfortable. He looked locked in. He was zoned in on the back of Man, and he's streaking around that bottom bend there. Now, Man is waking up behind him. He is putting in a surge. He is kicking hard. But can he close that gap? This would be some comeback if Man could close this one down. But down the back straight, Parker from Man. They both look absolutely great in full flow here as they come up with 200 metres to go. Now, Man is really grimacing. You can see the slight head tilt from Man, whereas Parker just looks locked in. He looks metronomic at this point. 150 metres to go. Parker is streaking away with this one. He is certainly going to take it in my mind. The question is, how quick is he going to go? Are we going to see our first sub 15 minutes clocking of this evening? It's going to be extremely tight. It just depends how quick Parker can close this one. We were looking for 15 minutes to 15:05. I think he's going to deliver that, but Parker flying down the home straight. Man is not giving this up though. He's having a right go at him down that home straight. He's closing down, but he's not going to do enough to get there. Parker takes this one. 15:04 across the line. 15:04, 15:05, so bang on there. Hats off to the pacemakers. Man in second place, and we can see it's Booth and Gary battling it out down that home straight there, and I think it's Sebastian Gary, the Highgate Harrier, that takes it there from Booth in fourth place. Patterson, the Hernhill Harrier, and it looks like Rhiann Macaulay there, who takes fourth place. What a cracking race that was, and I tell you what, I don't know how my voice is going to hold up for this full evening here, because I'm getting a little bit croaky already, so I think a swig of water is certainly in hand for me. But yeah, that concludes at the top end there of our second race this evening, that men's E-race. Now, like I said, we will be bringing some athletes up into our commentary area, and we'll be getting a chat with them. So as that unfolds throughout the evening, we will, like I said, we will be getting some of our athletes. Now, as soon as the results come through for this one, we will get them posted over to you. But I'm going to take a slight break and just grab a little swig of water while this one closes out. So we can see our schedule on the screen there for what we've got going on the rest of this evening. Next up, it is 7:05. We will go to our Elite Women's B race. In between then, I'm hoping to grab our winner of the F race, Jeremy Henwood. If we can grab him up here, and we'll have a little chat with Jeremy about his opening race this evening. So I'm joined by our race winner of the men's F race. It is Jeremy Henwood, 15:25 across the line today, Jeremy. Firstly, congratulations. A good run out. I know you said you were maybe a little bit disappointed time-wise, but talk me through the race. Talk me through your performance. How you feel about everything?
Yeah, it was all right. It was obviously, I think with the heat, you're kind of a bit slower than planned. Haven't been able to practice much in the heat, so yeah, it was all right. It was kind of steady at first, and then just had to pull away for the last few laps, and just kind of lost the legs and everything, and it kind of just went a bit south. But yeah, I mean, time's all right. I was hoping to do a bit better, but it's at least a result on the board, and then I can try and do better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've mentioned, like I've mentioned a few times on commentary tonight, the temperatures. It is really warm out there, but it also seems to be a little bit of a breeze as well.
Yeah.
How did you find that heat? Was it quite draining on the tank then during the race?
Yeah, well, the headwind on the back straight's pretty tough.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping to have been in the other race, so I could have been in a pack a little bit longer, I think. So I was trying to stay in the pack as much as possible for as many laps as possible. And then, just had to go solo for the last, I think, 4 laps.
Right.
And then, you really feel it, honestly.
Yeah,
you're just taking all the wind, all the heat.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good.
Good. And in terms of what's next for you throughout the season, what are the next races that you're planning on hitting up?
I think I've got a 5K on the 12th of June, I think here in Battersea Park, maybe. And then one on the 24th, which might also be in Battersea Park. I'm not sure. They're the kind of road ones around here. And then just a bunch of triathlons over the summer.
Nice.
That's
so plenty of action.
Yeah. Lots to come. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us up here, Jeremy. Appreciate it, and well done on taking our men's F race winner, Jeremy Henwood.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks.
So results-wise, we will cut over to. Shortly, we'll cut over to our results to close off our men's E-race. That was our second race of this evening. We will get that to you guys shortly. So there we go. Our results for that second race of this evening. It was Isaac Parker that took that 15:04 from Rafe Man, and what a battle that was between them two. Sebastian Gary, the Highgate Harrier, takes third place. 15:17 from George Booth, our early leader. 15:18 across the line for him. Thomas Patterson from Hernhill, 15:20 Ron. Rhiannon Macaulay in 6th place, 15:22. Adrian Royer there, 15:30, and Matthew Everett across the line in 8th place in 15:30 also. And as we move down the field there, we can see Will Anderson, 15:31, Somerville 31 as well. All the way down onto that page of Greg Grierson, one of our early leaders. He was up there to start with, 15:52 for him. And we can see Alex Wright there, Damien Madigan, 15:57. So there's 18 athletes under 16 minutes in that one. So fantastic performance from those athletes in our second race of this evening. And we are going to head over shortly to our first ladies race of this evening. It is this women's B race, and I mentioned that there was some quality in this one. We've got Grace Baker in there, Emma Bond, Eloise Bull, Aoife Carr, Charlotte Davies, Leonie Del Vendal, Jade Dos Santos, Eleanor Foster in there as well. Then go to Alex Gandy in there, Emma Gordon, Amy Green, Sarah Grover, Caitlin Johnson, Steffi Luca Edwards, one to watch out for me, Grace Manson, Imogen Matthews in there as well. And we'll run the rest of our entries across the bottom of the screen there. So this one, our third race of this evening, the women's B race. Paced at 16:45 pace. We're looking for 321 kilometres. We're looking for 80 seconds per lap. We're looking for 5:24 mile pace in old change, in old money. And on the front, we've got our pacemakers who are going to do a fantastic job here, because I've got every confidence in these pacemakers. One of our pacemakers is Becca Weston, recently coming off a fantastic marathon performance there, part of the Hawker PB protocol as well. So linking in back with our sponsor this evening, Hawker. So Becca Weston is going to be on the front taking this one round. And yeah, like I mentioned, we've got a cracking start list lining up in this one, and we'll bring some info on the athletes as we watch this one unfold. But like I said, we do have 2 pacemakers in this race. Well, actually, we've got 2 separate packs in this one, and we can see that that's already established that breakup in this women's B race already at this early stage. So we can see in that lead pack we have got Imogen Matthews in there, 16:52 operator in there. So Imogen Matthews, sub 17-minute performer. Again, they'll be looking to go a little bit quicker than that this evening. She'll be looking to get under that, well under that 17-minute mark and get round in that 16:45. Got athlete in there as well, number 141. 141 is Billy McCloskey in there, the Belgrave Harrier, 17:45. Personal best on paper here, so she's really got after this one at this early stage there. But plenty of athletes in that lead pack at this early stage, as they're going to be coming around to that 800-meter mark. So still early doors in this one, 10.5 laps left to go, so plenty of running in this women's B race. We can see that the crowds are starting to build in Battersea Park around this track. There's plenty of faces around here cheering on some athletes, loved ones, family, friends. So still plenty of action to come this evening. But this is our women's B race as they threw that 800-meter mark there. So joined in that lead pack there, like I mentioned, it is Imogen Matthews in there. And we've also got Grace Baker in there, the Hastings AC athlete. She has a personal best of 16:19 as well. Season's best 16:54, again under that 17-minute mark. Got herself established in this pack early doors. We can see Becca Weston on the front there as she takes them through that kilometre mark in around about the 3:20-ish. So we're after 3:21, so we're bang on pace-wise here. This is fantastic pace-making. Looks like we've got 3 packs on the go in this one. But it's, like I said, it's still very early days. We've seen in the races previously how it can chop and change. Athletes that are leading it for the first half of the race then can come away, and I believe that heat is going to be a factor and is going to be a problem for some of these athletes tonight. So it is going to make it hard. It's going to drain that tank, and as you can see from our interview with Henwood earlier, he mentioned that the heat was a factor and the wind on the back straight. But still plenty of running left in this one, and we can see Becca Weston doing a fantastic effort on the front there. And she's joined by athlete number 52 there. We'll try and bring you an update on them. I don't have them on my list at the moment, but I will try and find out who that is. You can see athlete number 238 in there as well. Now 238, one of our, I think it's potentially Charlotte Van Ziest in there. But yeah, plenty of athletes in this lead pack early on. So Becca Weston still on the front, still doing a fantastic job of pacing around here. Becca's taken them through, which I believe she's going to be taking them through to around about the 2K mark, but we will confirm that. But fantastic running from Becca Weston at the moment, taking them around as they come about 5.5, 6 minutes into this race. So still plenty of running left in this one. We can see Grace Baker still hanging on to that pack there, still hanging on to the back of that. It's key that Grace, you know, the 16:19 personal best athlete here, tries to hang on to the athletes in front of her there. But still, like I said, plenty of running left in this one. They've got 8 laps to go, but Becca Weston on the front, pushing this one, making it an honest race, taking these athletes around bang on schedule at the moment. And there's only one athlete that's gone with them. That's number 52, the athlete that's tracking her, Becca Weston, all the way. Now, unfortunately, I can't see the athlete's name on my start list, number 52 there, so I do apologise. I can't bring you the name of this athlete, the number 52, but they're tucked in tight behind Weston. Some real strong running, and they've really committed to this one as well. So Becca Weston doing a fantastic job on the front here. As we click away another lap, and as the athletes come round, they're going to see the lap sign for 8 laps to go, so still plenty of running left in this women's B race. So I've got confirmation that's Mimi Cordon Lloyd in first place now, number 52. Been a slight shuffling round of race seeding this evening, but that is Mimi on the front there, and she has really gone for this one. She's sat on that pacemaker. She's committed hard early doors. So yeah, fantastic running from Mimi, and I'm glad that we've got that athlete's name, because she's having a really good run there. Really good run out this evening, should I say. So Mimi Cordon Lloyd sitting tight on the pacemaker there. So Mimi coming into this one with a personal best of 16:52 from 2025. Had some good runs over 10K and over the half marathon. And she's right on the pace with this one. They were going for sub 17 minutes. They're going for that 16:45, that 80-second per lap mark, 3:21 per kilometre, 5:24 per mile. So Cordon Lloyd seems to have a healthy lead at the moment. Now the question is, when the pacemaker drops away, can she maintain this? Can she hold off the athletes in the packs behind there? Cordon Lloyd seems to be coming slightly off the pacemaker at the moment. And you can see the pacemaker just putting the brakes on, just allowing her to get back in touch there. That is great pacemaking, that, because you know she's here to do a job, and that's fantastic that she just held off slightly there and brought herself back to Cordon Lloyd, and she's going to help around and tow around for as long as she can here. I know Becca Weston's got a few pacing duties this evening, so you know she will have that in the back of her mind. But Mimi Cordon Lloyd here is coming through. She's looking good, she's looking strong, but that pack isn't, for me, she hasn't got far enough away from that pack yet. She's still within striking distance, and like I said, things can change quite quickly in these 5K races. And when you've got chasing packs and athletes in groups there, they can build momentum and they can move through together. So that could be a challenge coming later on. That is the athlete in second place there. That is number 238. And that is, it could be Coppell Johnson there. But like I said, there's been a few changes in our schedules. It is actually Krista Kane there, the athlete in second place. Now, I did pick Krista Kane out in this one as a potential winner. She's a 2:35 marathon runner, and she's the quickest on season's best, going into this with a 16:30 season's best. And you know, 2025, she had a great year on the road. PBs from 5K up to the marathon. So that is Krista Kane in second place from Cordon Lloyd, who leads this one out. Now, Krista Kane, I believe, in second place is in a very vulnerable position here. Now, Cordon Lloyd looks to have built a bit more of a gap over the rest of the field there, and she's holding it together well. And that's because the pacemaker is doing an unbelievable job here. She's taken her around to You know, we're looking at about eight laps in now, 7 laps in. She's done a fantastic job of letting her build momentum, letting her draft off her, and that's Becca Weston there who's taken Mimi Cordon-Lloyd to a healthy lead from Krista Kane at the moment, but that pack behind is hunting Krista Kane down, and that in turn will mean that they will start hunting Cordon-Lloyd down. Now, can she hold it together? Number 52, Mimi Cordon-Lloyd. She's about 11 minutes into this race now. Another five and a half minutes to go. Krista Kane, second place. From the AFD athlete, that's number 236. The AFD athlete in 236 is Sabrina Coppola Johansson. She's UK number 3 over 3,000 metres. Coached by Mick Wood. 16:52 on the road. A Friday night under the lights in 2026. So Coppola Johansson there. The under 18. She is there leading that other pack. So Cordon-Lloyd from Kane, from Johansson. Plenty of running left in this one as they come round. They've taken the mile mark to go, so Cordon-Lloyd a healthy lead. She's just under a mile to go, about 1,500 metres. Can she hold it together? Kane looks to have again rallied again. That marathon strength starting to show, and I do think that will play a big part in this. 5K in the marathon, they're miles apart, literally, no pun intended, in the distance. However, that strength that you build as a marathon runner, it will transition down these events, and we can see that in her performances. Kane has season's best over 5,000 metres already this year, but it is Cordon-Lloyd on the front. Now, what is going to work in Cordon-Lloyd's favour here is that she is going to be starting to lap athletes. Now, she can really pull on the athletes in front of her here, and that is going to do a world of good as she comes around with 3 laps to go. The clock's on 12:40. Kane there still holding in no man's land in second place from the athlete, the leads Harrier there, 2:30, Charlotte Van Ziest, who's 17:27 runner, so she's having a real good run. Now it's Van Ziest that's leading the chase to Kane in that third pack there. So we've got Cordon-Lloyd from Kane, from Van Ziest now, and like I said, this race just constantly chopping and changing. This is why we love this sport, the unpredictability of it. But Cordon-Lloyd on the front, working hard. She's still holding the form together. She hasn't faltered form-wise. She looks no different to what she did a few laps ago, and that is a really, really positive sign here. And like I said, she's coming up to lap another athlete here. That is going to do her a world of good, and it's going to help her just switch off a little bit as she comes round, and then she'll have 800 metres to go. So Cordon-Lloyd on the front. She's built a healthy lead in this one. Kane still holding on in second place, but I think she's about to be swallowed up by that pack behind there, led by Van Ziest. And this one is really going to be interesting to see how it pans out that last kilometre for Krista Kane here, because she's held that position for a long time now. The question is, if they go past Krista Kane, can they start to get on the back of Mimi Cordon-Lloyd? Because she looks great at this point here. She looks really, really strong. The arm carry's nice. She looks relaxed. And you can tell she looks relaxed. There's no grimace in the face. She's churning away. She's grinding this one out. So Mimi Cordon-Lloyd on the front, 14 minutes of running. Krista Kane on the toes, still looking good form-wise, but about to be swallowed up by Van Ziest, the leads Harrier, who's led the charge in that pack, and she's closely followed by athlete number 139, Imogen Matthews in there. PB set on New Year's Eve at Friday night under the lights in Battersea Park, so no stranger to this establishment. But this race unfolding nicely here. Cordon-Lloyd on the front. Krista Kane about to be swallowed up by the rest of that. Now the pack behind, they have to make a decision. When they pull up to Krista Kane, what do? Do you gradually go past her? Do you sit on her a little bit, or do you really put the boot in to demoralise that athlete and make sure that they're out the back door? That's where the athletes behind Krista Kane have got to decide what they're going to do now. And you can see Imogen Matthews is making a move around the outside there. Van Ziest is also on the outside there. And these athletes have just bunched up behind Krista Kane at the moment. Now, for me, they need to move. They need to put the foot down. And as we say that, Matthews does make a move. Now, the question is, are they going to be able to get on the back of Cordon-Lloyd? Because that gap hasn't grown much these last 2 or 3 laps. But I feel like Cordon-Lloyd has done enough to get away from this field at this point. Still plenty of running left in this one. So Mimi Cordon-Lloyd heads into the home straight. She will take the bell this time round. And it's The chase is now led by Imogen Matthews, who leads that pack now. Number 139, Imogen Matthews, with 500 metres to go. Mimi Cordon-Lloyd looks to have this one sewn up, or does she? Can Imogen Matthews rally? Can she close? Because Mimi Cordon-Lloyd is there to be shot at as she takes the bell around about the 15:50 mark here, 15:55 mark. So Cordon-Lloyd has done all the running in this one, was helped really a long way in this race by Becca Weston, but has done a lot of the running as well. Since Becca Weston dropped out, Cordon-Lloyd has made this an honest race, made this a healthy race, and now you can see she's stretching out a little bit here. She's starting to relax down that back straight, driving forward. The cadence hasn't changed hugely. The arms still look nice and relaxed. She is working, but she's got about 250 metres to go. Imogen Matthews leads that second pack from Van Ziest. Now that pack, there's still 3 or 4 athletes in that pack, so second place is still up for grabs here. But at the moment, it's Matthews who's leading that pack with 250 metres to go. Cordon-Lloyd looks to be away here. She's just got to hold it together. That last 150 metres. The winner of our women's B race looks to be Mimi Cordon-Lloyd. She's got this one sewn up. She committed to this one early. She's made this an honest race. She has grafted this one out, and hats off to her. She comes in the home straight around about the 17-minute mark. Now Van Ziest makes a move in the pack behind the lead Harrier, and Imogen Matthews tries to hold her, and there's a little bit of barge in there with about 120 to go, but Mimi Cordon-Lloyd is going to take this one. Van Ziest into second place now, and she strikes, but Imogen Matthews still looks healthy. She still looks like she's going to go for it. Van Ziest gets that one. Matthews in third place. Mimi Cordon-Lloyd takes the win. What a run that is. So unofficially across the line then, around about the 17-minute mark, 17:15 mark, we will bring you our official results as this race does conclude. But what a run that was by Mimi Cordon-Lloyd. Really committed to that one. Really struck for home, made the moves when she needed to. And yeah, a fantastic run from Cordon-Lloyd there. Imogen Matthews and Van Ziest having a real battle. They had a real tussle with about 120 metres to go there. And that spanned out down the home straight there, and I'll be interested to see who got that one on the line. I think Van Ziest got it, but we will wait for our official results. But that does conclude our women's B race. A fantastic race there. Mimi Cordon-Lloyd takes the win. Committed, showed real grit, real determination. A fantastic run from Cordon-Lloyd. So whilst I get some water down my throat, because it's dry even, is playing havoc with my vocal cords, we will pop our schedule up on the screen, and you can see next up on track at 26 minutes past 7, we will go to our men's Open D race. Again, plenty of talent in that one. We'll have a chat through our times, what we're looking for split-wise in that men's D race that's coming up shortly. So next up on track, we go to our men's D race. That will be paced at 14:45 pace. Now, I've just been informed by one of our cameramen that the reason my voice started going there is because we're surrounded by London plane trees, and apparently they shed these really tiny particles that get in your throat. And I tell you what, I really felt that in that last race there. So plenty of water from now on. But our men's D race is about to get underway. I'll run through our start list as we get through this. We'll bring our start list up across the bottom of the screen as well, so we'll get plenty of information of the athletes that are in this one. But like I said, pace in this one is going off at 14:45 pace. So that is going to be around about the 2:57 kilometre mark, 70.8, 70.9 second laps. We'll see if they'll be that precise. We'll just say 70 second laps. 4:45 mile pace, so real healthy pace in this one. We've got the likes of Rowan Board in this one, Jacob Brockman, Miles Brown, Marcus Etheridge, Harrison Fraser, Jack Hobden, David Irvine, Matthew James, Eddie Jodwell, Max Kelly, Angus Lamb, Will Lewis, Elliot Manning, Sonny Mound, Adam Milbury, Dylan Naylor, Finton Pierce, Jacob Pierce, Ben Pierce, the three Pierces there. Monty Watson in that one, the Highgate Harrier, Blake Williams, Charlie Wood, Remy Clefford and Findlay Dyer there. So our athletes are lining up in this men's D race, paced at 14:45 pace. Some of our quicker athletes in this field, we've got Jacob Brockman, the 14:43 operator there. We've also got Harrison Fraser in there, 14:50, Elliot Manning, 14:50, Adam Milbury, 14:50, Dylan Naylor, 14:45. So plenty of quality around about that 14:40, 14:45 pace there. We've got a couple of pacemakers in this one. Looks to be Jacob Brockman though, the Thames Harrier athlete, 14:43 personal best. He was one of our quickest in the field that we mentioned earlier. He seems to be right to the front already at this early stage in the men's D race. So 11 laps to go for this very early stages in this D race, and the sun is still shining. The wind does look to be dropping slightly, so that's a big benefit for these athletes. But again, we see this one. You can tell these races are paced because paced races, they tend to string out pretty early on. And you can tell these athletes, they're operating around PB schedule because it's so strung out. If it was nice and slow, they'd be sitting in packs. If it was tactical, they'd be sitting in a pack, but not tonight. This is just all-out time trial. Yes, you want the win, but the main reason people come to pacemaker races, we all know it, is to clock a time. So you can see we've got three pacemakers in this one. So the Comeback 5000 really investing in the pacemakers, trying to get the quality races for these athletes. It is Brockman in first place, followed by athlete number 241, which is Remy Clifford there, the Derbyshire under-18 athlete, 14:59 operator, so he's committed early on to this one as well. So we can see this one panning out nicely, and it is Jacob Brockman still tucked in behind the pacemakers there, followed by the under-18 athlete as well. But I'm actually joined on commentary by our race organiser, Steph. Steph, pleasure to have you on commentary with me. I won't put you on the spot and say who you're going to pick for the winner in this one, because that would be pretty harsh. But yeah, just wanted to get a little bit of background on sort of the event and how you found organising it and how you think the evening's gone so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Comeback. We've obviously, as a Belgrave team, have been involved in the organisation some way. Obviously, Steve spearheaded it in 2021 to bring us back from Comeback, hence your name, lovely Comeback to Track. And since then, he and the team around him have tried to make it the start of track season. So it's all about coming back to track, running a 5K PB, and then this year is the first year that myself and Mimi, who obviously just won your women's B race, have kind of taken the lead. So it's been ours to organise this year. We've brought on Hoka to support us. Obviously we've got yourself in comms, and it's been a joy. It's very much like not our day job. It's what we spend our evenings and part of our weekends doing the past couple of months to bring this all to life. But it's been a pleasure, even if a little bit stressful.
Yeah, no, I think it always is. It always is stressful with the race organisation part of things, especially when you're trying to work it in around your day job and things like that. I know we're still early doors in the programme. I've got a feeling of what I think you might say, but any performances that have really sort of stood out to you at this early stage in the race? I think I know where you're going to go with it, though.
Oh, I'm going to back my girl Amina. That was my win for her. She's going to be my number one tonight, no matter what. We've both had the weight on the shoulders of hoping, bringing all of this together. And I was not even going to. I mean, I couldn't be on the start line this year anyway. But even if I could, I wouldn't have done that. So yeah, big, massive. I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, she's done really well there. She did do really well. And later on this evening, we've got, as we work through the programme, we're going to be hitting towards our A races on the night, and the ladies' side of things, we've got a really stacked field with the likes of Millie Jordan Lee, Gemma Kersey and Nancy Bowley. Is there any names that are jumping out to you that have got a bit of intrigue around you in that women's A race?
I think it's a really tough one to call, so I don't envy you. But there's a lot of women who are right around that 16-minute mark, and they're going to be chasing either the first time they've broken 16, either all together, or they've done it in the road and now they want to replicate it on the track. So our pacers, I think, have got a tough job because they're going to have a lot of women on them, and trusting them to take them through, the first 2/3 of the race. I don't know how to pick it. I mean, you had a lot of good races recently. If I'm going to go Belgrave home track, I might go either Nancy or Ella. Ella just won the Irish 5K Champs on the road, so the PB is 16:03. But I think she won it by a country mile, so I'm sure there's more in there. So I wouldn't bet against her. She was 4th here last year, so I'm sure she's ready to get after the podium. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with my Belgrave girls there. Lovely.
Well, still plenty of action to unfold, and Steph, I'm sure you've got a very busy evening ahead, so I won't keep you any longer. But from me personally and from everyone at the event, from the atmosphere that we're seeing here, I think you've done a fantastic job. So well done, Steph.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, I will keep sending your winners your way.
Thanks for the pint.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Much
you can't do this without it. I
Much
wouldn't.
appreciated.
Super. Thanks so much.
Cheers. So back to this men's D race. That was Steph Hewitt, our race organiser. She's done a fantastic job there. So you can see we're down to 2 pacemakers now, and it is number 170 hot on the back of the pacemakers. That is Finton Pierce, our under 20 Belgrave athlete. 14:52 personal best here. So they're operating in good schedule. They're on pace still. They're on pace at this point. But that is Finton Pierce in there, the Belgrave Harrier, 14:52. I tell you what, I've never seen a start list with 3 athletes with the same surname. Finton Pierce, Jacob Pierce, and Ben Pierce, all in a row. Belgrave AFD and Tunbridge athletes there, all around that, under that 15-minute mark. So great to see in this one. But Finton Pierce, the Belgrave man on the front, the 14:52 operator. just tucked in behind the pacemakers there. Like I said, we've got 2 in this race, so really key to, the pacemakers have got a job to do as well, and it's not easy pacemaking these races, and they're doing multiple races this evening as well. So actually, for the pacemakers to get a bit of help, that's great for them as well, because it means they're going to be able to stay on schedule for as long as they can with the athletes. But Fintan Pearce on the front here, the Belgrave Harrier, closely followed by number 1, 2, 3. That is where we had number 1, 2, 3. That is Will Lewis, the senior, 14:51. So a nice race developing between Fintan Pearce and Will Lewis here. Both very, very hard to separate on paper. Around about that 14:50 mark between the two of them. So as they come round, they've got a mile to go, 4 laps to go, 1,600 metres left to grind out, and the pacemaker has gone. That's excellent pacemaking, that though. 8.5 laps boxed off by the Pearson team there. So fantastic work from them there as the athletes head round on that bottom bend. And you know what? I don't know whether it's just the way I'm looking at things or the way I'm catching things, but it almost seems when the pacemaker drops, there's a bit of an injection in pace there. And Fintan Pearce is on the front and he's churning this one out. So Fintan Pearce brings them round with 3.5 laps to go now. The Belgrave Harrier, 1:70. Looking good, looking strong. Got the cap on, keeping the sun off the head there. Leading from 1, 2, 3 there. That is Will Lewis, the 14:51 operator. From the Hernhill Harrier, number 17. That is Rowan Board, a 15-minute operator. So they're all within that 10-second mark of each other. But Rowan Board at this point, he's in a great position, just sat off the back of them two, letting them do the pace, letting Lewis and Pearce do the work here. Now Board is on schedule he's around PB territory at the moment, so this is great running from Board. He's just got to cling on to these two athletes. Pearce still on the front, still grinding this one out. Lewis behind. Lewis looks as though the energy is there to pass. He looks as though he's moved wide slightly. He's pulling up on the shoulder. Now, whether that's just the psychological side of things starting to unfold, but as I say that, Lewis makes the pass. You could tell he just moved wide. He fancied it a little bit. He's feeling good. And he's thinking, right, well, if I'm going to nail this time, I've got to stay on pace here. And he's done the right thing there. If you're feeling good at this stage in the race, you've got to go for bust. You've got to take the bet. You've got to bet on yourself in this one, and Lewis has done that. Pearce is hanging on to him though, but the Hernhill Harrier, number 17, Rowan Board, he's not being shook by this pace. He's not being dropped by this. He's hanging on, and this pack of 3 are away here as they come round, and they're going to be taking about 2 laps to go now. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out now. So we've got Lewis on the front, from Pearce, from Board, 800 metres to go. They're going to head down this back straight. Now, if I was Lewis, it would be a case of I just need to gradually try and put the squeeze on this field here. Now, that's easier said than done. Not an easy thing to do. But if you can just hold that front position and just build slightly, just squeeze it every 100, 150 metres, that's going to make the athletes behind. Every time they pull up on the shoulder, they're going to feel a little surge in pace. It almost looks like Lewis is doing that. But Lewis's form is starting to look a little bit raggy. Now, I wonder whether the pace is starting to tell on him a bit. To be honest, out of the 3 of them, Board looks really, really good just sat on the back there. Board is the slowest out of the 3 on paper, but he looks really relaxed, and it's similar to how we've seen in some of the other races earlier when the athletes are just locked in and focused on the back of the athletes in front of him. It's key. Now, out of the 3, for me, Board looks good. Intriguing to see where this one goes with about 450 metres to go. They're going to come round and they're going to take the bill. And this is where things can change, because Pearce is starting to make a move and Board is still there. Board is not being dropped at this point. So Lewis still on the front, 350 metres to go. Pearce still there on the shoulder. Board still there on the back, but is there a little bit of daylight to Board now as they head down the back straight? You can see the athletes, they're starting to move through the gears a little bit now. Lewis looks like he's stretching it a little bit, and Pierce is still there, but you can see there's a gap developing now. And Lewis, he's put the boot in again. There's Lewis. There's another little surge from Lewis with 200 metres to go now. Now this one's going to come right down to the wire because Pierce is making a move. He's making a move on the outside. It's a bold move, but he must be full of running to make that move with 150 to go. Round the outside, Pierce hits the front. Number 170, Lewis still there. Board looks to be shifting behind though. Now can Board get to them? Because Board looks good. He's coming wide. They're down the home straight. They're battling, all three of them abreast. But look at the close on Board. The Hernhill Harrier's going to steal this one. We said he looked good with 250 to go. Board is there. Board gets it. A cracking run from Board there. I said early on Board looked good. He looked relaxed, and across the line in around about the 14.50 mark. A big personal best for Rowan Board, the Hernhill Harrier. That was a fantastic close to a race. That was a pleasure to commentate on that one, because you've seen with 250 metres to go, the landscape of that race started changing. 150 to go, the landscape changed again. 100 to go, the landscape changed again. And Rowan Board, the man who looked good, bided his time, let the other athletes fight it out. He waited till the last round, then delivered that KO blow. Fantastic run from Rowan Board there. Well, what a race that was. Our men's D race there, Rowan Board taking the win in that one. Brilliant running from him. And we can see our athletes closing this one out there. We will bring some of our results up from our previous races shortly. We'll get them up on screen so we can bring you up to date on all the official results. But a fantastic men's D race, and thankfully my voice didn't go in that one there. So the time is 7:45 at the moment, and we have got plenty of action left, but I will recap our women's B race results. We've got Mimi Cordon Lloyd that took the win in 17.15 there from Charlotte Van Zelst. The Leeds City Harrier 17.19. Imogen Matthews in third place there in 17.20. And you can see as we work down there, Krista Kane, the 2:35 marathon at 17.25. We've got Sabrina Coppola Johansson in there as well, the AFD athlete, 17.33. So some real strong running in that one there, and we can see the rest of the results. We'll let them filter through onto the screen, and I believe I will be joined by our winner of that women's B race very shortly. So, I've got Mimi Cordon Lloyd with me, winner of our ladies B race. Mimi, first of all, well done.
Thank you.
And thanks for confusing me in the commentary box.
Sorry.
Because I was frantically rifling through paper, going, who is this number 52 really committed to this one
really
here?
Under the radar.
And I had the producer in me here going, it's Mimi Cordon Lloyd, it's Mimi Cordon Lloyd. So we got there in the end. But Mimi, a fantastic run, well done. The first thing you said when you came up here was how hot it is.
Yeah.
And I spoke to one of our previous winners as well about how they cope with the conditions. So how did you find it out there?
Yeah, I think massive props from me to Becca Weston, who was the pacer for my race, because she stayed a little bit longer than I think she was originally finally going to, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling, I will admit. I think I got, once she left, I got a lot slower, and that was fine. But I just literally looked at the back of her and like locked in. I did move down from the A race a couple of days ago just because I knew it was going to be hot. I've obviously organised tonight as well, and I knew I was going to be quite tired, and I definitely felt that plus heat. So I was like, just look at the back of her, hold on, and if you're racing to win it, I think it gives you a little bit of something, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, definitely. We did mention how Mimi had how Becca Weston had sort of dropped back to give you that additional support, and I thought it was cracking pacemaking from her. How did you find it though when you were running, knowing that you were that far in front and you had that chasing pack? Like, was it in the back of your mind like, oh, they're going to get on the back of me, or was it all positive, like, no, I'm away, I'm going to hold this, they're not catching me this evening?
Yeah, I kind of have a rule a little bit in track racing where I just don't look behind me, because I think it can really throw you off, and I get quite nervous about being, like, I like to be at the front, and I get quite nervous about being chased, because I think you look back and they always look closer than they actually are on a track, I was aware of that. I could hear people cheering for them, but I was kind of like, with 300 to go, you've just got to lock in and like give it everything you've got. Don't look behind you and just kind of run. And I knew I was quite far ahead and I had a bit of time, but I also knew that I was slowing down quite substantially once Becca left me. So I was just like, oh my God, it was quite tough. But I was like, just don't look behind you and keep moving.
Yeah, well, I thought you had a really good run. I really did.
Thank you.
And in terms of what you're looking forward to the rest of the evening, is there any sort of names that maybe even not ones that you think, well, they're going to win this race?
Yeah.
Any athletes that you've got an eye on later on as we progress through the programme?
Yeah, definitely. I think like, especially in the women's race, I think like Millie and Maddie have had amazing seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like really excited for them because I think they're going to progress even further now. Ella Fennelly, who I train with quite a lot and is obviously a Belgrave girl as well. She ran 16:04, I think, last year, or maybe 16:07, somewhere in around that. And she's also Irish 5K champ. So again, she's like started her season so well. I think the women's race, I feel like maybe you might look at the women's race and be like, oh, there aren't like any massive names, but I think that's almost in their favour because I feel like they're all really similar ability.
Absolutely.
And it's just going to be like a really fun one to watch. So
yeah, I totally agree with you, Mimi. When I was looking through and doing a bit of research for this one, as I was going down the list, each personal best was like just a second or two difference, and I was like, this is a race. This is going to be a proper race. And we've seen, the result of the previous men's 5,000 metre race. When it is a race like that, it's it just brings a different element to it. So I totally agree. I think that women's A race later on in the programme is going to be. It's going to be absolutely fantastic watching unfold.
Yeah, and I'm glad now that I can watch it, not race it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll let you get back to the watching and
get my beer.
Maybe get a beverage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got one shoved into my hand the minute I finished.
Yeah,
and I've had two little sips already, and now I've got to go cool down.
The perfect hydration tactic, eh? Right, Mimi, thanks very much for that, and well done on the organising. You've been fantastic this evening. Cheers. Bye now. So back on commentary now. That was big thanks to Mimi Cordon, Lloyd, and we can just see quickly there before we get to this next race the results from our previous race. Rowan Bord, who took the win, the Hernhill Harry there, 14:51. Will Lewis in second place, 14:52. Finton Pierce in 14:52 as well. So just shows how close that one was. But a fantastic kick from Rowan Boyd to take the win, the Hernhill Harry. And you can see as we work down the results there, we've got Brockman in there, the early race leader, 15:11 there. So some really strong performances in that third race in our men's 1,000 metre second. We'll go to our second page there. We can see Remy Clifford there, 15:17 for him. Matthew James, 15:23. Ben Pierce there in 15th, and Blake Williams in 16:22. And that is all of our finishers from that third race. So we'll get them results off the screen and we'll go back to the action in our next race, which is the men's C race. So we're going to bring our start list up across the bottom of the screen now so you can see the athletes that we've got lining up in this one. But this is our men's C race and we are looking for 14:25 in this one. So the pace is hot in this one. 14:25, that's 2:52 per kilometre, so we're looking for 69-second laps. We're looking for 4:35 mile pace. So this one is really getting down there pace-wise. 14:25. These athletes are not messing about at all, and it's Harris Austin, the under-20 Highgate Harrier, 14:47 personal best. Committed to this one. Got on the back of the pacers at this early stage in this race, and he's having a real go here. Now you can tell. Again, like I've mentioned before, the pacemakers, the setup we've got here, we've got 3 pacemakers on the go here. So this is great news for the Highgate Harrier. Like I said, Harris Austin, the under-20, 14:47, committed to this one. And I like this. I love it when you see an athlete that just thinks, you know what, let's throw caution to the wind. We're not messing about. I haven't came all the way here tonight to sit in the back of a pack, sit in a race and get carried away. And, you know, Harris Austin has got after this one. He's committed to the pacemakers. Now, let's see how this race unfolds for him because he does have company. And he's not going to have it all of his own way because there's quality operators in this one. And it's Harry Woods, who's another one there. The 14:33 man, 14:35 season's best as well. Now, he's made a wise move here as Harris Woods. He's decided to commit and got on the back of Austin. And there's a little pack just forming with them 2 athletes now. Now, like I said, there's still plenty of time in this one to watch it unfold and for the athletes to get back on the pack. But at the moment, Austin is leading this one out and Woods has got on the back of him. And these 2, they look to be away with the pacemakers. And I tell you what, that is a great shot of the athletes going around that bottom bend there because the 2 on the front there, tucked in behind the pacemakers, they look really, really good. And Harry Woods, I really like his style. He's got a slightly long loping style, a little bit loping stride, sorry, a little bit of a high arm carry, but he looks really fluid, looks really relaxed. So Woods just sat in there, letting Austin do the work, and we see another one of the pacemakers drops there. So we're about 7 minutes into this race now. We're coming around with 7 laps to go. So we've got 1 pacemaker left. Austin on the front, taking a look down at the feet there from Woods in second place. Then we've got the Hernhill Harrier 181 and number 40 there in that chasing pack. So the Hernhill Harrier is Morgan Roberts there. So he's looking good, he's looking relaxed, and it is Morgan Roberts that starts to lead that charge in that second pack. So Austin from Woods, from Roberts, the Hernhill Harrier, the lead man in that second pack. Now, how is this one going to play out? But Woods in second place there, sat behind Austin, looks fantastic. Austin doing all the early running. Yes, he's sat behind the pacemaker, but psychologically he knows the pressure's on him more than anyone in this field because as soon as that pacemaker drops, he knows it's on him, and then he has to start making decisions about how he plays it out. Does he just sit? Does he just maintain the pace? Does he ease off the pace and let Woods come by him? Or does he really start hammer it when the pacemaker goes? For me, you know, Austin, his personal best on paper, he's operating well under that. He's a 14:47 man. He's on 14:25 pace here. And you can see he has this odd little look down at his feet every now and again. I don't know whether that's habit. I don't know whether it's fatigue. But as I say that, there looks to be a yard or 2. It's very, very slight gap between Austin and Woods now. Now, it might just be that Woods has just concentration slipped slightly and he'll get back on it. But these are little telltale signs that you try and pick up. Is Woods feeling it a bit in it? It doesn't look like it at this stage. Austin back on the front, and it looks to me the pacemaker's pulling wide. This could be Austin's run for home now. Now, I mentioned how I thought Woods, there was a little yard or so growing, and that was about 300 metres to go. And now it looks to be that yard has turned into 2 or 3 yards because Austin looks to be on the front now and in control, and and ahead and dropping Woods. So Austin's going to have it's going to be a long run from home if he goes for it here. Woods has got to think about this. Does he commit? Does he try and get on the back of Austin? Does he wait for the other pack to catch and try and move through with them? Led by 181, the Herne Hill Harrier, Morgan Roberts. There's decisions have got to be made now as they're coming round with a mile to go. But for me, Austin, he's looking good. He's looking committed. He's got 4 laps to go, 1,600 metres to run, 1 mile. He's going to want to be covering that in around about the 4:35, 4:40 mark. And he's gone for it. And this gap is growing now to Woods, but I think that the chasing pack, definitely 181 in the pack behind Morgan Roberts, they are starting to close in on Woods here. So Austin is going to be out on the front, and you can see that gap is developing. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Austin's splits are here, whether there's been a slight surge in pace, because he's looking good. He almost looks like he's putting the hammer down a little bit here. With 3.5 laps to go, Austin is on the front, and he's building a healthy lead. And as we say that, Woods is going to get swallowed up by this pack behind there. I have no doubt that Morgan Roberts is going to lead that pack to go past Woods. So 181, and it's also Simon Byrne in there, number 40. He's behind the Herne Hill Harrier, and they are going to swallow Woods up shortly. But Austin is still out on the front. Austin is looking good. Austin is looking strong. He's got 1,200 metres to go. The question is, can the pack behind close down? Morgan Roberts, Simon Byrne in there as well. Can they work together? Can they pull Woods along? Are they going to close Austin down? Austin is heading into the back straight now. He's going to be coming around. He's got about 700 metres to go now. Sorry, no, not 700 metres to go. A bit further than that. He's got 1,100 metres to go now, and this is where it's going to really start to grind on him now. He's got coming up with that kilometre mark left. But he looks good. He looks like he's really forging on here. Again, the look down at the feet. I don't think it's a sign of fatigue. I think it's just his style. I think that's what he does. All athletes have little different ticks, little different twitches, and that's what Austin's got here. But he's looking good. He's looking strong. But that pack behind is now starting to change up a little bit, and it's number 49 that's on the front. Number 40 that's on the front now, and it is Simon Byrne. So Byrne on the front, leading the pack, leading the charge. Byrne, the 14:04 man on paper. Yes, 14:33 season's best, but an experienced campaign, and he's putting that experience to the test here tonight, because Austin is asking questions on the front, but Byrne is leading that pack now. Can they close up? Woods is falling back slightly. That early surge, that early commitment to the pace, that's been telling on him. And again, it's like we mentioned about the heat. It can drain the tank, and the athletes can feel that later on in the race. You can maybe get away with 1 to 2 kilometres running in this type of heat, but anything when you get around the 3K, 4K mark, that's when it starts to really take its toll and performance will fall off. Maybe that's what's happening with Woods. But as we say it now, Austin is heading down the back straight, and he's looking good, and he's got about 600 metres to go. Now Byrne is starting to make a move. Byrne is starting to charge here because he's pulling away from that lead pack. Now Byrne has got about 600 metres to close probably about a 4-second gap here. Austin looks good. To me, at this point, Austin looks full of running, but Byrne is slowly but surely closing them in. And this is a real test for Austin now, because the young man has got to hold it together, not just physically, mentally as well, as he comes round to take the bell. Byrne is charging, but Austin will take the bell here, and this is going to be a big last 400 metres here. He's going to take the bell in around about the 13:27 mark, so we're on for something around about the 14:35. It's going to be a big PB for Austin if he can hold it together. 350 metres to go now for the Highgate Harrier Austin. Byrne is giving charge. There's movement in the pack behind though, and we see this happen all the time. Athletes that have sat off the pace later on, starting to come through at these later stages in the race. Austin, a nervous look behind there, but he still looks good. He doesn't need to be looking behind. He needs to be focusing, running forward, because he looks strong. He looks in control again. He's really starting to open up with 200 metres to go. Austin hits this one. 200 metres to go. The arms are driving. Look at the change in cadence there. He's really kicking, but there is movement in this pack behind, and he's going to be getting closed down as they come into home straight. And it's number 2. 2, 3. So number 2, 2, 3 is giving strong chase now. That's Sam Winters. Now, can Sam Winters get long-time leader Austin? I think he's going to run out of track. Austin streaking down the home straight, but Winters is coming strong. He's going to run out of track. Winters is not going to get there. Austin takes it, surges across the line. 14.32 across the line from Austin there, from Winters. A brilliant run from Austin there. He deserved that. He deserved that because he showed a lot of bottle, he showed a lot of commitment. He got after that pace early, he committed with the pacemakers, and when all were falling off the pace, he still stuck at it. And when the pacemakers dropped out, he pushed again. A fantastic run from Austin there. Really, really good running. And, you know, Winters made the charge late. The 14.34 man, Bedfordshire County athlete, made the charge late, just ran out of track. But what a run from Austin. Well, you can see him having a good time there, and he deserves that. Harris Austin getting some photos taken there. For me, so far tonight, that's been my performance of the night. I love the way he attacked that. I love the way he got after it. So brilliant running there from the youngster Harris Austin, the high gear Harrier, rewarded with a personal best. And yeah, fantastic running from him. So the races are coming thick and fast this evening, and next up we will be moving to our men's B race. We'll bring you a bit more information on that one as we get a little bit closer to the time. That is due off at 8:10. So in the next 6 or 7 minutes or so, we'll be going over to that men's B race. Now this is paced at 14 minutes to 14:05 pace. So that is a one that we're going to be seeing potentially getting very close to that magical 14-minute barrier this evening. From there, we're going to move on to our women's A race, and then we're going to conclude our evening's action at 20:55 with that elite men's 5,000 metre race. That one, target pace, 13:40. So plenty of action still here to come at the Comeback 5,000 metre event, so stay tuned. So, like I mentioned there, next race up on track, we are moving to that men's B race, and you can see the athletes on the back straight there, getting in the final one. So we'll have a quick look over our start list for this one. And I tell you what, this one is going to be a cracker. We've got Harry Bell in there, the Hernhill Harrier. Can he follow the accolades of Boardman earlier on in his win in his race? We've got Ed Blytheman, Ewan Brown, Oliver Bushdari, Tom Chandler, Ravi Clark, Charlie Coles in there, Joseph Comfort, the rugby and Northampton AC athlete. And we'll flick over to our second page of athletes starting in this one. William DeVero and the Morpeth Harrier. Looking forward to seeing a fellow North East man toe the line tonight in this 5,000 metre race. We've got Dylan Gillett in there. We've got Joseph Grange, Flurry Grierson, Alex Howard, Charlie Jones, Samuel Mayer, Brendan Martin in there as well. So plenty of quality in this men's B race, and like I mentioned, the time that they're going for, it is going to be around about that 14-minute mark. We've got Jack Marwood in there, Joseph Massingham, Peter Malloy, Joe Morrow, Rafe Sarif as well, the Belgrave Harrier, someone who I'm intrigued to see how performs this evening. Seen him run at Loughborough International last weekend, a really good run, and is slowly returning back to form. We've got Matthew Snowden in there, the Ipswich Harrier, Jake Stevens and Jack Woods, Holland Sports AC. So like I mentioned, plenty of quality in this one, and we'll go to our results of our previous race, and what a run that was there. Harris Austin 14.32 across the line from Sam Winters in second place, 14.32 for Simon Byrne, 14.36 the Swindon Harrier there. So that was a cracking race. Sam Winters just running out of track, couldn't quite get Harris Austin, but well deserved run by Harris Austin there, taking the win. Ossian McGloin in there as well, Morgan Roberts, Samuel Jinks down 14.45, so plenty of athletes under that 15-minute mark. Flick off to our second page of results from that one as well. We've got Alex Reid in there, 14.45 for him, Joshua Burgess, Harry Woods, Andrew Green. Look at all these names, sub 15 minutes. Kieran Barnes in there as well, 14.57. So the quality in this one's been really, really good, and a cracking race to watch unfold there as we span further down that list there. Still 18 athletes under that 15-minute mark, so brilliant running from there. You see Sam Lambert in there as well, the Stratford-upon-Avon athlete, 15.08 from him. And we've got Oliver Russell, Ed Mallet there, closing things off in 15.50, the Hercules and Wimbledon AC athlete. So yeah, a brilliant run from that one, and we're going to be going over to the start of our next race any minute now. So we are underway with our men's B race. I'll recap that start list for you there. We've got the likes of Harry Bell in this, Ed Blytheman, Ewan Brown, Oliver Bushdari in there, Champ Chandler, Ravi Clark, Charlie Coles, Joseph Cornford, Will DeVeron, Dylan Gillett, Joseph Grange, Flurry Grierson in there as well, Alex Howard, Charlie Jones, Samuel Mayer, Brendan Martin, Jack Marwood, Joseph Massingham, got Peter Malloy in there, Joe Morrow, Matthew Riviere, Rafe Sarif, Matthew Snowden, Jake Stevens, Jack Woods and Alex Reid. Now this one, like I said, paced around about that 14 to 14.05 mark. So these guys are going to need to be operating 249 per kilometre, which is 67 per 400 metres. And if anyone's watching this who's training in athletics, really 67 400 metre pace for 12.5 laps. It's not an easy task at all. Pacemaker wise, we've got a couple of pacemakers in this one. We've got Dylan Evans again and Dom Jones leading this one out, so experienced pacemakers in this one. They've done a fantastic job this evening so far. That's one thing I will say, the pacemaker has been spot on. But on the front, tucked in behind the pacemaker, it is 136, and that is Brendan Martin. Now Brendan Martin is someone who I picked out as having a couple of special PBs on the go here. So Brendan is a 2:15 marathoner, 14:25 in Boston, a 64:54 operator over the half marathon. So Brendan Martin is going to take some beating in this one, and he's committed to this one early doors. He's closely followed by the Morpeth Harrier. So William De Ver Owen there, our senior men from Morpeth, 14.25, man. He's really got after this one and committed, and you know, he's travelled from the northeast today. He's not coming to mess about. He's committed to this one, and that's what we want to see, and that's what he needs to do at these races. There's no point travelling all the way down to London to come and compete in a 5,000 metre race and not having a go at it, and that's what Will De Ver Owen has done here. Really got after it early on, but it is Brendan on the front there, not giving an inch, tight to the pacemakers. Really got after this one at this early stage in this men's B race. Looks to me to be Ed Blytheman in third place there as well, just getting on the back of the Morpeth Harrier there. So Ed Blytheman a 14.12 man at his best, 14.17 this season. So Blytheman looking to get under that personal best mark. So we're around about 2:48 through that first kilometre there, so that is pretty much bang on. We asked for 2:49 pace, we got 2:48. That was for the pacemakers, so actually Brendan in the pack behind, that is spot on pacing for him there. So 2:49 through that first kilometre we go. So we are currently on schedule for that 14-minute mark. Now what I'd love to see is these athletes be able to hold this together, potentially rally. Could we see anyone go under that 14-minute mark in this B race? That would be something really special, as Blytheman moves into second place there. So Blytheman there, like I said, the 14.12 man on paper. He'll be looking to get under that mark this evening if he can take this one here. But Brendan on the front looking tight from Owen in third place. The Morpeth Harrier just sat there on Blytheman. And this one again, well strung out at this early stage. They're coming around, they see the lap marker, 9 laps to go. It's still an awfully long way to go in this one. But this is early stages. The athletes just got to hold it together, try and conserve the energy as much as possible. It's a long race, this 5,000 metres. But doing the right thing, getting after it and committing to that pace early on, that's what we like to see at the Comeback 5000. Now, as this race does unfold, I did mention we do have our elite races coming up later on as well. We've got our women's air race coming up next, and then that's going to be closing the evening out, followed by that men's 5,000 metre air race. And there's some, you know, real good domestic quality British names in that one there. So we'll go through them start lists before the races get underway, but there'll be some really recognisable names. And I can see, just looking down from our commentary box, we can see some of the elite athletes. They have arrived, they are on site, they are getting through their warm-ups now, they're starting to do their drills. I can see them all dotting around. The crowds here tonight, they've really turned out in force. It's such a good atmosphere, which is great for the athletes that are racing. There's plenty of people down here, plenty of beers being sold, there's plenty of pizzas getting consumed, there's loads on the go here. We've got our hawker stands over in the stand area, so there's plenty of action going down at the track here. But back onto the track, and it looks to be Martin that has just clung on to the back of them pacemakers, and he looks to be building the lead. Blytheman sat leading that second pack from Owen, the Morpeth Harrier. Tight on the curb, sat in second place. We can see an AFD vest in there as well. So this is going to be intriguing to see how Martin tackles this one. A real strong man though is Martin, so he'll be used to committing, he'll be used to the psychological warfare that he's got to go through for this one. But we can see in that pack behind, there's people starting to make little moves there. 191, Rafe Sarif is in there, the Belgrave Harrier. Now, I said I was intrigued to see how Rafe Sarif goes tonight. And I had watched Rafe Sarif compete at the Loughborough International last weekend, and he had a real good go at things, and I think that he is going to try and bridge this gap here. I'd seen that he put out a post and he's back in a better place physically, he's back in a better place mentally, and he's ready to attack things. And he had a go at the front the other week at the Loughborough International. Now he's got himself on the front of this second pack, this lead, this chasing pack here, and I think Sarif here is going to try and bridge this gap. He's going to be the one to try and bring the field back to Martin, who's churning away tight on the pacemaker. Now, the field can't let Martin build too much of a gap, because we've seen it happen earlier on in the races. We've seen it with Mimi, Cordon, Lloyd earlier. Once the gap is built and it's too big, they just can't close it down. Winters in the previous race with Austin finishing like a train, but the gap was built, the damage was done. So the athletes, they can't afford to let too many gaps open up. But you can see 156 there. He's now leads the charge. That's Peter Malloy, the 14:07 man from Owen, the Morpeth Harrier. And now it looks to be these two, Rafe Sarif, dropping back off the pace. So again, chopping and changing in this one. I tell you what is great for the athletes though, the sun has certainly gone down, the temperatures are certainly dropping, so this will be ideal for the elite races coming up and for these athletes that are on the track now. Don't get me wrong, it is still warm, they're still going to be feeling this, but it's not as much of a factor as it was earlier on for these athletes, so we can sort of put that to the back of the mind. One thing that has completely dropped though is the wind. The wind is, it's still on that back straight now. We can see our hawker flags, they're not even flickering over there. Martin on the front though, on the back of the pacemaker, sitting tight, having a real good go at this one here. He's going to come round with about 6 laps to go. Still a long way for him to go, but it's Malloy leading that chase pack as well. Owen sat in there, the Morpeth Harrier, looking relaxed, looking strong. He's positioned himself nicely throughout this race as the Morpeth Harrier there, and he's leading that second place in that pack from the AFD athlete. That's number 45. That is Tom Chandler. Now, Tom Chandler, 22-year-old, sub 30 minutes for 10k, a 66 half marathon, and a 14:22 for 8th place at Bucks. So what Chandler has got in the bank here, what he's got in the bag over a few of them in this race, is that he's ran a 5,000 metre race already this season. And that time on feet, that experience just most recently, going through the process, warming up for a 5,000 metre race, doing your drills for one, competing in one, completing one, your cool down from it, your post-race nutrition, that is all good experience, and that is something that he'll bank, and that will, that will come to play out in this race at some point. The fact he's already clocked the 5,000 metre, an 8th place at Bucks, that is not to be sniffed at. That is a really good performance. The pacemaker has gone now, and it's Martin on the front. That short, punchy style, the shoulders quite high, the punchy stride. He looks strong, he looks relaxed, but he's still got an awfully long way to go. He's going to come round with about 5 or 6 laps to go in this one. And we can see he's still on the front, he's looking relaxed. I'm just looking down at the lap marker because they look like they're going to change it, but they're not, but they have. So 4 laps to go. He's coming up with 4 laps to go as Brendan on the front. A mile to go on the front now. Can Brendan hold it together? It's a long way to go, 1,600 metres. There's still a lot of running in this one, but it looks to be Malloy still leading that charge in the pack behind. Malloy, the 14:20 man this season in April. So that's his season's best, a 14:07 on paper. He's clocked 3 5,000 metre races already this year though. And again, we spoke about the experience. We spoke about the time on feet, just getting used to going through them 5,000 metre races. Well, Malloy has also got that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Malloy and Chandler, a few 5,000 metre races in their belt. Owen, the Morpeth Harrier, just sat pretty in that pack there. Just sat in there in between the 2 other athletes, letting them do all the work, just cruising by. And the gap that Martin has got on the front, it isn't growing anymore. If anything, I think they're starting to eat into it. Malloy has got his eyes locked on the back of Martin, and I think this gap is closing ever so slowly now. It's closing. So Malloy leading the charge. Malloy's working hard mind on that pack because he's doing a fantastic job of bringing them back to Martin. Owen in second place in that pack. He looks very relaxed there, very relaxed. And Chandler also again looks good on the back of that. And remember how Boardman attacked it, just sat on the back of the pack, watch the athletes go about their business, watch the athletes go around the race, and then just deliver that kick that last 100 metres. Could we see that from Chandler? Could we see that from Owen? Can Malloy hold it together? Can Malloy bring them back to Martin and go past Martin? Or is Martin going to hold this one? Because it's been a committed run from Martin. But it's a fantastic race to watch unfold as Martin heads down the back straight. What I will say about Martin is that form hasn't flickered all the way in this one. He's stayed solid throughout. That punchy style of his, that punchy stride, them high shoulders, them punchy arms there. He's held this together all the way through now, and he doesn't look to be wavering from a form point of view. So that suggests to me that the fatigue hasn't fully set in yet, but he's still got laps to tick off here, and Malloy is still locked in the back. Now I would say say that this gap probably is very similar to how it was before. So if the likes of Owen and Chandler are going to start about thinking to close down Martin, they're going to have to make a decision soon enough. Is Molloy the man to bring them back? Is Molloy feeling it? Because they're coming up with 800 metres to go now, and they need to make a decision. Do we go ourselves? Because is Molloy fatiguing too much here? Those are the questions that they need to be asking themselves, and the decisions that they need to be making now. Is 800 metres to go. Martin on the front, Molloy second, Owen third, Chandler fourth. So down the back straight for the penultimate time. Martin not flickering. That form is not changing. That gap is changing ever so slightly. Not hugely, not significantly, but it's still changing. And Molloy is the man that is bringing them back. Molloy is carrying Owen. He's carrying Chandler. And it looks to me, by the time these athletes get to the bell, I think they're all going to come together, because for the first time I've glanced down at Martin there, and for the first time I think he looks a little bit tired. Chandler at the back of that pack, he looks active there. He looks like he's got energy to burn, and as we say that, they make the pass down the home straight now. So Molloy goes past Brandon. Fantastic running from him. He's led this one out, but not to be. Molloy makes the move. Now can Owen follow him? Can Chandler get in the mix there? They're on the shoulder, but they haven't gone past him yet. Molloy makes a move on the bend, unorthodox that, very unorthodox. But as we say that, and then Chandler wakes up in the pack behind. That said, with 500 metres to go, Chandler looked good in this one. Chandler now onto the shoulder of Molloy. Molloy still grinding it out. He looks tired for the past mile, I would say, but he's still churning this out, and now the breakaway is on here. Molloy down the back straight with 200 metres to go, closely followed by Chandler, who's not giving him an inch. Now, for me, out the two, at this moment in time, Chandler looks the best, but Molloy, we've seen this form. This is just his style. He's grinding it out. That long loping style, that long loping stride of Molloy now with 150 metres to go, and Chandler is on the shoulder. Now Owen's waking up in the pack behind. Can the Morpeth man close down? Molloy hits the home straight, and Molloy kicks hard there. Chandler is left in his wake a bit, but now Chandler pulls out. Chandler makes the move down the home straight. This is going to be a battle right the way to the line, but I think Chandler's going to take this one just from Molloy. A fantastic run from Chandler. Time to perfection. Molloy across the line second, Owen across the line in third place there, sub 14:20. So some real solid times from them guys there. Another cracking race to watch unfold, and the AFD athlete that was sat at the back of that pack there, Chandler, Tom Chandler, looked good. That 8th place at Bucks, that 5,000 metre experience, that's really served him well there, because he just sat, he waited, he bided his time, and when he dropped the hammer with 60 metres to go, there was no coming back for Molloy there. With about 80 metres to go, Molloy looked to surge again, and he held Chandler a little bit, but in the end, it was just the surge that Chandler put in. It just carried him home that last 60 metres. So brilliant running there from them guys at the front there. And Owen, a fantastic run from him. The Morpeth Harrier is going to be coming away with a quick time there. So some brilliant runs, and that closes off our men's B race. We can see our athletes finishing this one off. So we will get to you our live results of this one as soon as they do filter through. Next up on track, we are going to go to our women's A race, and I will introduce our athletes and go through our start list in that shortly. But I need a sip of water after that one, because what a run that was. So next up on track, we go to our elite women's air race, the 5,000 metres, our penultimate race of this evening, and what an absolute barnstormer we've got lined up for you here. Sonny Allen, the Highgate Harrier, Lily Anderson in there, Elizabeth Apsley, Sarah Bourne, the Derby Athletic athlete, Nancy Bowley, Emily Bradley, Abby Brook in there, the Belgrave Harrier. Watch out for Abby Brook. Had a fantastic run at the Loughborough International last weekend. I'm curious to see how she goes over the 12.5 laps tonight. We've got Ruby Carter in there as well, the Hercules and Wimbledon AC athlete. Onto our second page, we've got Hannah Clark in there, the Blackheath and Bromley. We do say we have Mimi Cordon Lloyd, but we know she dropped down into that B race earlier on and taken the win there. So we've got Nadine Donegan in there, Ella Fennelly, Katie Hawkins, Sophie Hicks as well, the New Zealand International World Cross Country representative. We've got Maddie Jordan Lee, the AFD athlete in there, Jenny Legger, Cambridge and Coleridge athlete. She's got some form coming into this one. Megan Marchant in there, the Western Temple athlete, Jade Morgan, Katie Pye, the youngster. Another intriguing athlete with bags of ability. Emily Rowan, Kitty Scott as well, Molly Smith, Stephanie Tucker, Hannah Viner. The names are endless in this one. The quality in this women's air race is fantastic. And our final athlete on the list, Millie Jordan Lee, the AFD athlete in there. Again, someone else who's really rallying into some good form at the moment. So an interesting race unfolding ahead of us. And if you cast your minds back to our interview with Mimi earlier, she was saying, and we both discussed actually how these athletes, it's all pretty even on paper at the front end there. A few seconds differentiating between our top athletes. That is going to make for an intriguing race in this one. So, results-wise, from our previous race there, Tom Chandler took the win, 14-14 for him. Peter Malloy in second place, with Peter Malloy doing all that work to bring them back to our long-time leader, Brendan Martin. William DeVero on there, the Morpeth Harrier, 14-17, a brilliant run from him. And Brendan Martin, our long-time race leader, 14-19 for Brendan Martin there. Charlie Coles as well in fifth place, 14-24 for him. Some real strong runs there, well under that 15-minute mark. Flick over to our second page now and have a look at some of them results filtering in further down the field. Dylan Gillett in there, 14.41. Jack Woods, 15.08. And Samuel Maher in there, 15.14. Closing out our men's B race. So straight onto the track, and it is our women's air race, and the pace is hot in this one. We are going for 15.50 pace. We are going for 309 kilometres. We are going for 75 second laps, which is 504 miles. Now we've got a few paces in this one, and we're going to have different paces attacking different times to help all these athletes out in this one. But yeah, a fantastic race potentially unfolding on paper here. Like I said, we've got Millie Jordan Lee in there, 15.59, our quickest on paper. She's 16.34 at the comeback last year, but that 15.59 in Monaco recently back in February, that really puts her at the forefront of this one. We've also got Gemma Kersey in there as well. Now, Gemma Kersey, if anyone knows their athletics will know Gemma Kersey is a very experienced athlete. Great range down to 800s in 2:06 through to 4:13, 1500s all the way through to a 75-minute half marathon. So Gemma Kersey, bags of talent, bags of experience as well. Got Nancy Bowley in there as well, 16:07 on paper. She had the run at the Friday night under the lights. Great competition, great standout performance. Typically an 8:15 runner up until 2024, then starts dropping these 5Ks. Started off at 18:10, now she's down that 16:07 mark, so plenty of potential from her over this distance. Got Ella Fennelly in there, Emily Rowan, Jade Morgan in there, 32.28 for Jade of Valencia. Stephanie Tucker as well, some impressive runs over 3,000 metres from her. And she actually ran a 15.55 a couple of weeks ago. It's sort of flown under the radar, that one a little bit. 15.55 a few weeks back on the road. So Stephanie Tucker, a one to watch in this as well. I spoke about this, the field is absolutely stacked, and I could keep going through all of these athletes here because there's really just each and every one of them has achieved so much in the sport, and the times that they've clocked are, really, really good. But one that I did say that caught my eye on the start list with Abby Brook, and she's 16.18 personal best, but her performance at Loughborough last weekend at the International, she bided her time perfectly, sat in a race and then hit the front in the later stages and looked really good, looked really controlled and dominated a field that she probably wasn't expected to win in. And that really impressed me, and she stood out on paper today for me for those reasons. So intrigued to see how Brooke goes. I can see that she is in that pack as they head down the back straight, as they'll be coming around to the 800 metre mark. So yeah, Abby Brooke, the Belgrave Harrier, certainly one to watch out for as well. Like I mentioned, we've got Sophie Hicks in there as well, New Zealand international world cross-country representative. So bags and bags and bags of talent in this race. We can see our two pacemakers, but out on the front, it looks to be the athlete wearing number 2. And that is Sunny Allen, our under-18 Highgate athlete. She's been performing on track mainly over the 1500 metre distance, personal best of 4:24, so she's got a bit of pace in the legs. 5k time, 16:17 personal best. That is her road time. This is her first time committing to a 5,000 metres on the track. So that's our race leader at the moment, sat in behind the pacemakers. That is Sunny Allen, the under-18 Highgate athlete, and they're clicking along nicely here. Like I said, pace-wise, we're looking for 3:09 per kilometre because we want these athletes to come home in around about the 15:50 mark. So as it stands, doing a fantastic job pace-wise, 75 seconds per lap. But intrigued to see how this one pans out because it's the youngster that's committed to this one. And again, we're going to see this happen. We're going to see breakaways, and then we're going to see packs come back. We're going to see groups working together. So it's really hard to say, oh, we've got a breakaway and this is definitive, because that is not how this game works. We've seen it so many times tonight. But at the moment, Sunny Allen on the front, tucked in behind the pacemaker, doing exactly what she needs to be doing there. She's joined in second place there by athlete wearing number 66. So 66, that is... I'll find out that for you as soon as we can get that athlete information brought over to us. But Sunny Allen on the front, on the gas, on the pacemaker, sitting tight, committed to this one. So 66 is Ella Fennelly there, the Belgrave Harrier. Now this is Ella's season opener, and we spoke to Mimi about this earlier, and Steph also mentioned it. They were both intrigued to see how Ella Fennelly gets on today. So a track personal best was from last year, but guess where that happened? Yes, it was at the Comeback 5000. 16:08 on the road at the back end of last year in Battersea. She's very strong though. Valencia half marathon, 75 minutes. That was a really, really big run for Ella Fennelly. So really, really intrigued to see how Fennelly goes here. She was one that was tipped by Cordon Lloyd, and Steph earlier on has been a one to watch for, and she sat there tight on the shoulders of Sunny Allen as they come round now. Pacemaker's doing a fantastic job. You can see our lead pacemaker just taking a look behind there, just checking back, and guess who's in third place there? The one we picked out beforehand, that is Brooke, sat in third place, the Belgrave Harrier, winner at the Loughborough International last week. This is exactly what she done last week in Loughborough, was never out of contact with the leaders, was always there, was always watching, and when she made her move to the front, it really was definitive. So let's see if that one plays out like that again. But at the moment, it's Sunny Allen leading from Fennelly, leading from Brooke. So cracking job by these two pacemakers here as they head down to the back straight, and there's a little bit of daylight forming now. There's a little bit of daylight forming, and it's Sunny Allen on the front there from Fennelly, just sat on the shoulder. Now are we going to see this classic race play out where a couple of athletes get away and then the chasing pack have really got to get on the bike that last 3-4 laps? But as we say that, Fennelly's looking committed here, and she looks to be moving through and past the pacemaker, and she's making a big move here. She's going to commit. She's going to get on the back of our first pacemaker here. Now, has Allen got any answers for it? The youngster, a season debut, a season opener on the track, a big debut over the 5,000 metres. No, this is where the experience comes in, and as we say that, Brooke makes a move and closes up on Allen. So Brooke's very aware of what Fennelly's doing in first place there, just tucking in behind that pacemaker. So this one, still plenty of running left in this race now. But we see Fennelly hits the front, gets on the pacemaker, and now this is a key move for Fennelly here, because what she's got to try and do is hope that this pacemaker sticks in this for a good few laps, can maybe take her another 3 or 4 laps here. That would be a dream situation for Fennelly here, and she can try and build a gap. The last thing she wants to do is get on the front, commit with this pacemaker, and then the pacemaker drop off all of a sudden. I don't think that'll happen, because our pacemakers have been absolutely fantastic tonight. But Fennelly's got an opportunity here, and the opportunity is to build a significant gap over the rest of the field, get herself out of sight, and almost damage them mentally, psychologically, so they think, this gap is too big for me to close. I'm going to focus on finishing in second place. I want to get second place. So Fennelly's got an opportunity here, and considering she made that move 400 metres ago, she's probably stuck about 10 metres, 15 metres on Alan in second place there. Now the problem Alan's got is the pacemaker she was nestled in behind. That pacemaker's dropped out, and she's got Brooke breathing down her neck. So this is hotting up nicely. And as I say that, I think at the front there, I'm not sure whether the pacemaker's just moving wide to give Fennelly a bit of space, or whether she's moving wide to signify that she hasn't got long left, but she's still going, she's still there on the front. As the athletes are whipping around about 8.5 minutes into this race now. So getting right into the thick of this 5,000 metre race. But it's Fennelly on the front, looking great, looking relaxed at the moment, but still a lot of running left in this one. So Fennelly down the back straight, then she comes round, she'll see the lap sign, and she's got 6 laps still left to run here. But Fennelly looking good, looking controlled at this moment in time. She's just got to hope that this pacemaker can go another couple of laps, can help her build this lead here, because that lead is growing, don't get me wrong. That lead has grown by another probably 5 or 10 metres there. So she's definitely putting work on the field there. It's still Alan Holden in second place, and she's now joined by number 22. That is Nancy Bowley there. So Nancy, the Belgrave Harrier, rode 5k personal best, like I said, a Friday night under the lights, 16:07 for her. Prior to 2023, she had no real road races. She was very much that 8-1500 metre runner. Then just slowly moved up to the distances there. And like I said, a couple of years ago, dropped an 18:10 5k. Now she's down at 16:07. So obviously there's bags of ability over this 5,000 metre distance. I've actually written where does the potential go on the notes next to her name here. She's 25 years old, a 9:19 3k personal best, and a 4:20 1500 metre personal best as well. So it's Fennelly out on the front. The pacemaker has gone. Allen in second place, holding that from Bowley in third place now, and Bowley looks to be making a move, and guess who is stalking her, guess who is following her? It's her club teammate, it's the Belgrave Harrier, it's Brooke, who's not letting them out their sights at this moment. But Fennelly, she's got a healthy lead now. Can she build this? Can she hold this momentum? Because like I said, she's still got plenty of laps to tick off here. But Fennelly at the moment is looking good, is looking strong, but there's a strong pack behind there, and that pack's made up of Bowley, Brooke, Allen, and 194. 194 is athlete Molly Smith, the Hernhill Harrier. Again, 16:12. Impressive road performances for Molly Smith. She's had PBs of 5k, 10k, half marathon, right the way through 2025, and carried that form into 2026. She had a PB on the roads over 5k at the beginning of May, and she hasn't raced the track in a long time as well. So 16:20 road season's best. A 32:56 10k operator. And I say she hasn't raced track in a couple of years. She actually did just drop an 800 metre race a few weeks ago. So whether she's doing something to give the legs a spin out, but that is Molly Smith, the Hernhill Harrier, who is in that pack. And this is going to be interesting to see how this really plays out here, because we've got a pack there. We've got some solid athletes all around this same mark. So it's about who positions themselves where, who makes the moves when, who makes their call, who makes their push at certain points in this race. And there's still plenty of running and plenty of action to come in this women's A race 5,000 metres. As Fennelly on the front, the long-time leader. The gap is slowly increasing. Just maybe a metre or two each lap, but that's significant. As she comes round now, she's going to take this lap marker. Psychologically, she knows she's still got this 1,200 metres to go, but she's looking good, she's looking strong, She comes round and she's going to be going through this split in around about the 12:10 mark. So it's Fennelly on the front. She's within 3 laps to go. She's under 1,200 metres to go. She comes round on the back straight now. 1,100 metres left in this women's 5,000 metre air race. The pack in the background is starting to wake up. It looks like Molly Smith's now having a go at the front, and Brooke is still there as well. Allen might be slightly off the back. Bowley is still in that pack there. But it is Fennelly on the front making a charge. 1,000 metres to go. The clock is ticking. She's about 12:50 there, 12:45 at that split there, sorry. So Fennelly on the front, still holding this one, still controlling it well. But the chase is definitely on. And that gap, it hasn't reduced, but it hasn't grown anymore. Molly Smith leading the chase, and on her shoulder, Brooke sitting tight, doing exactly what she done at Loughborough International. The only difference is here, 15-20 metres down the track, we've got Fennelly who's forging on as she comes down to take this one. 800 metres to go for Fennelly now, who's really put on a magnificent display of distance running. Can she hold it together? Is she going to be rewarded with the win? Is she going to be rewarded with a quick time? We've still got these questions that need answers, but Fennelly is looking strong, and for me, if anything, Fennelly, she looks to be opening up that stride a little bit. The knee lift has certainly increased. She is pouring it on now. She knows she's got 700 metres to go. She's essentially got to survive this back straight, survive the top bend, and then you're coming down the home straight. 1 lap to go, but Fennelly looking strong as she moves down the back straight. She's going to be coming up to that 600 metre mark very, very quickly. And I think now this is sewn up for Fennelly. Barring any kind of disaster, I think Fennelly has got this one nailed, and she committed to this and deserved it. But Fennelly making a move now, 550 metres to go. She's just got to hold this together. She's just got to stay strong. She's just got to stay consistent. She's got to stay switched on though, because look at the move behind. Brooke is making her charge with about 550 metres to go for Brooke. She's starting to strike for home. Can Brooke close this gap? I think it's too far. But judging by the way she ran at Loughborough last week, the potential is there. Well, Fennelly on the front, she's got about 60 metres on this pack now. She's got about 60 metres on Brooke as she takes the bell, through the bell. 14:41 on the clock there. So Fennelly has controlled this one from the gun, got onto that lead pack, got on that pacemaker, made a move, and committed to this one. She's now going to head into the back straight with 300 metres to go, and she is striking for home. She has made another move there with 400 metres, 100%, because that gap back to Brooke is growing, and Brooke is kicking hard in second place. Molly Smith down in third place, the youngster Allen hanging on in fourth place, but it's all about Fennelly here. 220 metres to go. Fennelly has dominated this one. She deserves all the credit she gets from this one. 200 metres to go. Fennelly holding strong. She's kicking hard. Now it's not a case of whether she's going to win this race. It's a case of Fennelly against the clock. 15:25 on the clock at the moment. Is she going to go sub 16? She definitely is. How far under 16 minutes is she going to go though? It was paced at 15:50 pace. She's got about 16 seconds to close this last 90 metres. You are watching a dominant run by Fennelly here. She's controlled this one start to finish. She's done and dusted this field. She has absolutely dominated it. Ella Fennelly across the line. She's going to be bang on the money for 15:50 here as well. What a run there from Fennelly. 15:50.64 across the line. Well, I tell you what, if you come to Comeback 5000, you're going to get your time, because these pacemakers have absolutely nailed it and the athletes have absolutely delivered there. Fennelly, a fantastic run. 15:50 on the clock. Brooke there in second place. Molly Smith taking third. And it looks to be the youngster Sonny Allen across the line in fourth place. I tell you what, that's a really impressive run from Sonny Allen. A 5,000 metre debut on track, under 18, stepping up against that quality field and having a real go at it. Hats off to her. Brooke tried to pull the same moves as she did last week at Loughborough International. Just ran out of track, but not only ran out of track, just ran up against another competitor that was just high quality there. And Fennelly really, really delivered. The Belgrave Harrier on the night. 16:07 personal best coming into this. She has absolutely smashed that. 17 seconds. What a run there from Ella Fennelly. We'll bring you the official results as they do filter through. But that was a cracking run. We can see our athletes spanning down the home straight now as they're finishing off, and then we're going to close off that women's air race. what a treat that was for you guys at home. I hope you really enjoyed that one as much as I did there, because it was a fantastic race, and Ella Fennelly there, she deserves all the credit for that. 15.50, personal best nails. She takes the win as well, and a really, really strong run. So brilliant running there from Fennelly. So you can see on our screen, our schedule, we will be going to that men's elite race next at 5 to 9. So we've got about 6 or 7 minutes until we get that one well underway. I am again going to take my opportunity to have a swig of water, because that was all out action, that one. That was all out action. And I'm getting very passionate and very emotive in this commentary box here, and it's hard doing this solo as well. So I'm going to take my opportunity, I'm going to have a swig of water, and I will be back with you guys very shortly when we'll go over to our men's air race going off at 5 to 9. So, swig of water down the neck, and we're back. Results from that ladies' elite air race. Ella Fennelly taking the win, 15.50.65, a huge personal best, taking over 10 seconds off her personal best there. Closely followed by Abby Brook, 16.02.8 for Abby Brook. A good run from her, tactically made the same moves as she did the other week. She just came up against some real stiff competition in the form of Ella Fennelly. Molly Smith, the Hernhill Harrier, 16.07, cracking run from her. Nancy Bowley in there as well, 4th place, 16.12. Megan Marchant across the line, the Western Tempen athlete, she moved through, and then you can see Sunny Allen there in 6th place, our early leader, 16.22 for Sunny Allen. Katie Parr, the youngster, the AFD athlete, 16.31, a solid run out from her, and then Emily Bradley there in 8th place, the Belgrave Harrier, 16.38. See Ruby Carter there, 16.44 as we work down that field. Millie Jordan Lee there, 16.52 for the AFD athlete. Elizabeth Apsley in there as well, 16.54, and Katie Hawkins across the line, the Salford Harrier in 17.02. So some real strong performances in that one, and you know, just a brilliant race to watch unfold. So next up on track, we move to our final race of the evening, the men's air race. Hotly anticipated, this one, sub 14-minute pace on the cards. We've got Ben Alcock in there, Adam Barber, Charlie Brisley, Finn Brody, another Morpeth Harrier, Michael Clark, the youngster City of Norwich athlete. Watch out for him. Big things to come for him in the future. Miles Clisholm there, the Coventry Godiva athlete. Jeremy Dempsey, Luke Dunham, Hertz and Phoenix in there as well. just lots of recognisable names. If you're watching at home, you'll be like, I recognise that name, I know that name, I've heard that one. We move to our second page now, see some more of these athletes lining up in this men's A race. Paced at sub 14 minutes, Chris Fielding in there, Jack Gray. If anyone knows athletics and anyone knows they're running, they'll know Jack Gray for a couple of reasons. A fantastic athlete, 13:41 operator. Owen Hind in there, Joe Hudson, another one who I've got a keen eye on this evening. Flynn Jennings in there, Dafford Jones in there, the Swansea Harrier, Angus McMillan, Quinn Meal Ingram as well, the Radley Athletic Club athlete. The quality in this is outstanding. We'll move to our next page as well, so I'll bring you some more of our starters in this final race of this evening. Caleb O'Neill in there, Andrew Penny, Joseph Reescara, Mark Ruby, Jack Small, and Arjuna Flug and Diarmuid Fagan. We don't have Aaron Gabri-Mariam racing tonight. I can confirm that Gabri-Mariam isn't racing this evening. But yeah, Arjun Flug, he's got a slightly different race on the cards tonight, and I'll bring you a bit more information on that, but he's essentially tackling a 3,000 metre race within this one. So plenty of quality there, and I'll be back with you shortly when we get this race well underway. So our final race of this evening, the men's 5,000 metre A race, paced at sub 14 minutes. We are looking for 13:40 pace in this one. So the athletes are really attacking that. We're looking for 2:44 kilometres in this one. So it's going to be a hot pace at the front. And yeah, like I said, the quality in this one is outstanding, and the potential of some of the athletes in this one is outstanding. We've got some real youngsters to keep an eye on, some experienced athletes in there as well, the likes of Jack Gray, really good operator over that 5K. So yeah, plenty of talent to talk about in this one as they get down onto the start line, ready to kick things off. And we are away, the men's 5,000 metres, our final race of the Comeback 5000 series for 2026. And I tell you what, don't blink because you might miss it. This one is going to be special. So like I said, pace-wise in this one, we're looking for around about the 13:40 mark. So that's 2:44 per kilometre, 65-second laps. That is crazy quick there. But these athletes are getting after it today. Like I said, they've came for times with this one. They're not messing about. And we can see straight to the front there, that's Dafford Jones, the Swansea athlete there. So Dafford Jones, 13:49. Coached by, if anyone knows their athletics, Mr. James Thee, an experienced campaigner, and I tell you what, a phenomenal athlete back in his day as well. Still a good athlete, and he knows his sport well. He's a great coach. So James Thee coaching Dafford Jones there. Dafford second at Bucks recently, clocking 13:56. Now I tell you what's significant about that. He ran 13:56, but he ran it in a championship race. That tells you something. The man's in shape. When his personal best coming into this one is around about that 13:49 mark. He's not messing about today. So we can see this one is strung out already. It's Jones on the front, Jones looking relaxed. It's still early on, we know that. We can see Jack Gray just on the outside there, number 83, the man behind Flycar, but also a 13:41 man at his very best. In second place there, it looks to be athlete number 234 as well, just sat in nicely behind Dafford Jones there. So that's Arjun Flug there. Now Arjun is going to 3,000 metres in this one. He's looking for a qualifying time as the Highgate Harrier, coached by Chris Rainsford. So he needs to get the 3 kilometre mark in the Euro qualifying championship standard, which is around that 18:25 mark. So Arjun Flug there, number 234, the Highgate Harrier. He's just going to 3K in this one, looking to get them qualifying time for that European Champs in Rieti in Italy on the 16th and 19th of July. So looking around, he's looking to target 8:25 pace here. So Arjun Flug right to the front there. Dafford Jones still on the front, nestled in behind the pacemaker. Looking good, looking relaxed. What you want to see from your athlete at this early stage here. So plenty of running still to go in this one. A lot of running still to go in this one. It's still very early days, but Dafford Jones setting out to stall early. Joining second place there, that's athlete number 186. That's Mark Ruby, the pool athlete. 21 years old, 13:57 track athlete, performer. He's competed at Armagh International, and he was actually third in the Bucks 5,000 metre final. So he's going to know Dafford Jones, the man in front of him, very, very well. And that experience of racing another athlete as well, you start to get a feel about how each other's run, how each other makes their plays during races and things like that. So that is going to become, a valuable point to utilise at some point in this race. But it is Jones on the front, and he's looking relaxed, and it is Jones from Ruby. So this battle will start to unfold. And as we say, that has been a slight jostling in position there, but Dafford Jones, hot on the pacemaker, not giving them an inch, committed to this pace early doors. Athlete number 239, he's the one who's making the move onto the shoulder of Dafford Jones there. So 239, that is Diarmuid Fagan, so that is Fagan, the 14:07 man, so he's operating well underneath his PB pace there. So 239, Fagan onto the shoulder of Dafford Jones there, and as I say that, Joe Hudson starts to join this pack. Now Joe Hudson, established 10,000 metre runner, had some great runs out in the US, 28:23. Recently been competing over the half marathon distance, so the endurance is there for Hudson. He has had some good runs out over the half marathon as Hudson, so it'll be interesting to see how he's translated that down into his track form. A 62:19 in Barcelona earlier this year. He's now opening up his summer campaign. This is his first race on track of 2026, but like I said, established distance runner, 28:23, 10K. Competing for Stanford over in the US, 5,000 metre PB of 13:54, which he set back in 2024. You know, competed first senior GB vest, 35th at the Eurocross recently, so he's really coming into the form after that transition over into from that US system back over to the UK. So you can see they're all pretty bunched here. There's no real telltale signs early on in this one. Jack Gray in there as well. Jack Gray, another international athlete, competed at England level, GB level for many years now. 13:41 personal best for Jack Gray. And you know, interestingly about Jack Gray, he's actually been racing since 2005, and I had a look back at his profile. His first races go back to 2005. There's athletes in this race that weren't even born when Jack Gray was churning out performances on the track, but a fantastic athlete. 13:41 personal best, came in 2023, so that just goes to show that the experiences and performances can come later on in an athletics career. 28:44 10K set in 2025. He's still competing at that top level now on the roads. Had a really good run at the podium on New Year's Eve, ran 13:51 here last year at Battersea Park, Comeback 5,000 metres. So yeah, Jack Gray, really one to watch in this one, because he will use his experience and he will bide his time in this one, and he'll try and make some moves later on if he can hang with some of these youngsters at the front, some of this young talent. But it's Dafford Jones still there, leading it out, looking strong, looking relaxed, and it's still Fagan on his shoulder, not giving him an inch. And it's the athlete just behind him, Mark Ruby, third place to Jones at the Bucks a few weeks back. So interesting dynamic there. Hudson again, just happy to sit. What I will say about Hudson is I would imagine through progressing through that US system, is race IQ should be pretty good, because I think the regular racing that they get out in the US and the way that the races are ran out there, it does enhance athletes' race IQ, in my opinion. We can see Fagan there just chopping and getting on the front, just cutting Jones up a little bit there. But no real shakes, no real changes hugely. Just Fagan has moved the front. Jones looks good there. Ruby in third place. Again, it is, like I said, it is early stages in this race, but they're all looking good. And we can see a little bit further down the field there, we've got that second pack forming there. We've got Finn Brodie on the front of that one, the Northeast man. As the athletes head down that home straight, you can hear the roar of the crowd. The excitement is building with these athletes as they're about 7 minutes into this race now. Still plenty of running, another 5 minutes or so to go. But exciting times down here at Battersea Park for this Comeback 5,000 metre race. So we head down the back straight. It is Fagan on the front, getting tight on the pacemaker, and for the first time Ruby makes a move outside of his position off that inside rail, and he goes and sits right in front of Jones there. Now Hudson's looking as well. You can see him having a glance up, and Hudson's going to be thinking now, is Jones just tiring here, or is he sitting back off it? Jones still looks very controlled, looks very relaxed. Jones has got a lovely style as well. I'm just watching them come around this top bend here. He's got a really nice cadence to him, but there's little pockets, there's little breaks in this pack now, and Fagan is on the front here, and I think Jones might be just feeling this early pace a little bit, and it looks to be that Fagan is going to take the front now, sat there behind that pacemaker, and there's little gaps starting to grow. So what's got to happen now is the field have got to wake up a little bit, and it looks to be Ruby on the front of that. He's got to get on the back of Fagan here. You don't want to let an athlete like Fagan start to build a gap at this stage in the race. And you can see, like I said before, Joe Hudson, he's always watching his Hudson. He's not letting anything go underneath him. He's not letting anything slide by him there. He's constantly got his eye on what's happening in the front race. And if you notice, it's a subtle thing what he does. He just edges slightly to the lane, catches eyes on them, cuts back in, and he's happy to do that. But now it's Fagan out on the front, 8:15 through the 3K mark there. So Fagan is leading this one out. We've got Ruby in second place, Hudson there on the rail on the inside looking relaxed, and we can see that we've got Andrew Penny there as well, 173. It looks to be Penny to me that's making a move on the outside now. So we can see this is all starting to bunch up a little bit here, but Andrew Penny, the 13:49 operator, he's making his move on the outside now. But Fagan has got it all to do on the front now. He hasn't got huge amounts of info on Fagan, but I know he's made some big jumps forward in his 3,000 metre game, clocking an 8:01 3,000 metres, and he's looking good at this point here because he's got about 10 metres on them. And I've noticed in the races tonight, the gaps seem to grow pretty quickly. And then it's a case of the pack starting to realise, oh, he's made a move here, we need to start doing something about this. But Fagan on the front now, he's coming up to this top bend, and he's looking good. He's got about 10 metres on the rest of the pack now, and that pack is made up of some good operators. We've got Penny in there, we've got Hudson in there, we've got Ruby in there, we've got Jones in there, and we've got the experienced campaigner Jack Gray trying to hang on to the back of that group now. Jack Gray's really just got to work and stay in touch with that group now. But that is a quality group. That is a group that I wouldn't want hunting me down in the closing stages of a 5,000 metre race, I'll tell you that for free. But Fagan is on the front. Fagan working hard, maintaining things, but slowly but surely building a very subtle gap now. And it is Penny who's trying to close it. Now I think Penny has realised that Fagan isn't going to be dropping off this pace, and it looks as though he has really started to motor a bit, because now he seems to be getting a gap on Hudson. So this one's going to be even more interesting if Penny starts to make a move and Hudson can't close it. It's easier, like I said, it's easier said than done sitting here in commentary and talking about what athletes should do. But for me, Penny's doing the right thing here. He's realised the danger. He's realised the quality of Fagan. He's thought, right, I need to get on my bike. I need to get on the back of him here. And, you know, an athlete that maybe 2 laps ago just seemed to ease off the pace a bit, Jones has now realised, well, actually, is Hudson fading a little bit? So it's Jones now from Hudson, from Ruby. Hudson starting to rock and roll a little bit, and I think he might be feeling it as they come around about 11.5 minutes into this race. So they're going to be coming around to take this one with about 2 laps to go, and this one is just bubbling nicely here. So Fagan on the front with about 750 metres to go. Penny looked to be making a move, and he is closing the gap. Penny is closing the gap, and he's closing it dramatically, and at this moment in time your money would be on Penny going straight past Fagan here and putting the boot in. But what does he do? Because we asked this question before. Does he just sit? Does he just hold? Does he trust in his kick? Does he put the boot in and go past him and demoralise him, break his heart down the back straight? Does he do that with 600 metres to go? He opts to sit at the moment. Interestingly, Penny opts to sit, but I tell you what, Penny is right up on his shoulder, and he's letting him know he's there, and it's a psychological play that he's letting him know, I'm there, I'm on your shoulder, I'm feeling good, and we're going to rock and roll this last 500 metres here, because Penny is coming around and Penny is looking strong. But Fagan holds that inside line now as we approach this last lap, and Jones is in 3rd place. Jones looks to be clear in 3rd place. Ruby in 4th place. Gray in 5th place, and Hudson looks to be out the back door a little bit in this one as they take the bell now. 400 metres to go. This is it. This is what it comes down to. Fagan and Penny, the last 2. This is going to be a cracking race. This is going to be a proper dust up over 5,000 metres, this one, because there's a head down the back straight now. Fagan is not giving Penny an inch here. He's surging on, he's pushing, he's putting the squeeze on him, he's incrementally grinding this last 400 metres, and for the first time now, Penny looks to be broken. Fagan seems to be breaking away from him, and it is Fagan with about 220 metres to go. They're going to lap this athlete now. Fagan needs to get in front of him before they hit that bend. He's just about done that, but Penny surges back again. Penny is not done. Penny is not out of this one by a long shot. He's going to have a right dig at him down the home straight. I don't think he's going to get there because Fagan looks so strong, but mark my words, I've been proved wrong once or twice in this athletics game. But Fagan hits the home straight now. 90 metres to go, and Fagan is striking for it. Can Penny answer the question? I don't think he can. In fact, I know he can't answer the question, because Fagan is going to take this one. He's streaking down the home straight now. He's going to clock around about that 13:42 mark. 13:44 across the line for Fagan. What a run. Penny across the line as well. Some huge runs there. Again, the race delivers right around that time. 3rd place, Jones across the line. And that's Jack Gray getting 4th place there. Brilliant running from Jack Gray. Sub 14. All these men crossing that line now are going sub 14 minutes for 5K. What a race that is. I've said it about all these races tonight, and it just proves how entertaining this event has been, because everyone has been a proper race. Everyone has been a proper battle, and that's what we love about this sport, when it catches you by surprise, when you can't predict what's going to happen, when we get pure racing, and that's what we've had tonight. We see Finn Brodie across the line there. Morpeth Harry, a fellow North East boy, I'll give that lad a shout out. He's grafted tonight. Across the line in just under that 14:30 mark. So we can see our athletes closing this one down. I tell you what I'm loved to see in here, the crowd has been fantastic tonight. They have really rallied, they have really given the support to all these athletes, and they're giving big cheers, and we can see our athlete closing down the home straight. He's chasing down a sub 15 minute clock in here, and he's going to do it as well. So a brilliant evening of 5,000 metre races, 100% a really enjoyable event. What a way to kick off track. We kick track off here at the Comeback 5,000 metres officially tonight, and what races we've had. What we'll do is we'll try and get these results, these official results, through before we end this broadcast. But yeah, it's been a fantastic run. I tell you what, my throat has seen better days. It's rather hoarse to say the least, but yeah, what an evening of athletics we've had here in Battersea Park at the Comeback 5,000 metre event. See Joe Hudson there. I imagine Joe Hudson will probably be a little bit disappointed in his run tonight. I think he'd have been expecting to be challenging for the win there, certainly up with the likes of Jones, certainly up with the likes of Ruby as well. And not a million miles away, but I think, I think he'll be potentially a little bit disappointed with that one. But yeah, brilliant run from Fagan there. He didn't disappoint. So yeah, as soon as we get those official results, we'll bring you that. You'd see the athletes laying down in the finish area there. They're absolutely exhausted. That looks to be Finn Brodie on the floor there. I've seen him looking fresher than that. But what an effort from him this evening. and all the athletes in these 5,000 metre races. Like I said, it's been a fantastic evening of races, and as soon as we do get these results through, we will filter them across for you guys watching at home. And there he is. There's the man of the moment. There is Mr. Fagan, our winner of the Comeback 5,000 metres. You can see Steph, our race organiser, there, getting some social media. I bet she's sending him right up here. She'll be saying, right, look, I know you've just ran 5,000 metres particularly quick, but get yourself over there to that commentary box. But yeah, brilliant run from Fagan there. So what I will say is a big shout out to Hawker, one of our main sponsor this evening. Hawker back in this Comeback 5,000 metre event. Without sponsors being on board like this, it'd be very, very hard to put these events on. So big shout out to Hawker. Done a fantastic job providing paces with kit and trainers to compete in tonight. So yeah, it's been a wonderful evening. And you know what, the weather, I was a little bit concerned about how it might affect the elite racers later on this evening, but actually it's cooled down nicely, and it's been a pleasure for these athletes to compete in not too hot, not as hot as it looked as though it was going to be. So yeah, a wonderful event, and we'll certainly be back next year. Mark my words, Comeback 5,000 metres will be back next year. And it's been it's going to become a regular fixture in the calendar, a one where athletes will be opening up their season over that 5,000 metre mark. So just to recap before those official results do come through, it was Fagan that took the win there in 13:44.1 across the line. Big personal best for him across the line, 14:07 previously for this. A lot of athletes going under that 14-minute mark, which was what we set out to do. And one thing you probably will have noticed about this evening is that a lot of athletes have hit their marks. The paces have been exceptional tonight. They've really delivered, and I think it's key with these events, when we are putting these events on with pacemaker races, that you do get quality pacemakers, and that's one thing that the Comeback 5,000 metre have certainly delivered on tonight. Quality pacemakers. So it doesn't look to be that we're going to get those official results through before we end this broadcast, but please do check them out. They will be on Open Track, and they should be available very shortly. But like I said, Fagan was across the line there for the win in 13:44.1. So I'm going to end this broadcast now. From me, Rich Morell, it's been an absolute pleasure commentating here down in London at the Comeback 5,000 metre event. Hope you guys have enjoyed it at home. Please do share this content and give it a like if you've enjoyed our stream this evening. And mark my words, we will be back next year, and we will be back even better.